And now, Kyle and Steven present another episode of the Go F Yourself podcast.
It's Fix.
Really? Well, that's embarrassing. The Go Fix Yourself podcast.
Welcome to the Go Fix Yourself podcast, the podcast where we are fixing our worldview one conversation at a time. As always, I am your co-host, Steven, and sitting to my left, and if you can see him right now, he's got a backwards hat on because he thinks he's cool.
I'm trying to be young and hip.
And he could be cool. It's Kyle.
I know. I was thinking about this. If we're going to do our intro with trying to fix our worldview, this is probably not the episode to tune into.
Yeah. I mean, but here's the thing. We're sitting across from the Bleeding Heart Brewery boys, the owners of Bleeding Heart Brewery. Now, this is part two. Part one, we went through your process. We went through the start of it and what you're working on now to, build into the future, your growth, all that stuff. And we had a blast. It was like a 2.5 hour conversation.
It was great.
It was like the first time you guys like really were in the same room as us, and we were able to just let loose and get wild. And that was a really fun conversation. So if you want to go back and listen to that one, this is going to be more, I'm assuming. A little bit more of a free flowing conversation, catch up, if you will.
Which is different from the last one.
I felt like last time, and obviously we're sitting across from Stefan and Zach.
Yes,
hello.
Just so everybody knows. And
hello.
Yeah, the first episode was, like he said, it was more of about you guys, about the brewery, how you started, how you met. And we'll probably touch on that stuff some more, but we're like, these guys are good.
Yeah.
These guys are good. We should have them back on.
We also got such a good response from that one. Like, oh, your chemistry was so good. Which I think it was.
That's because we're the same person.
Well, I think, and
we
they're the same
established
person.
that last time. Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly. Left brain, right brain, like that's us in a nutshell.
And which one was which? Because we got confused. I got confused.
We didn't get confused.
I got confused.
Left
It's
is
all made
logic,
up pseudoscience anyway.
That's right. Don't worry.
Thank
Professor
you.
Stefan will step in on every single thing. If there's any
From
question,
here on out.
Professor Stefan.
Well, I'm a Virgo, so, we could get into that.
Are you?
Oh, what's your rising moon?
I'm a Leo.
We're both Virgo.
I'm an
rising
Aries.
right now.
Duh.
Duh.
Obviously.
I have no clue. That's the one thing
Such
too.
an Aries thing to say.
I'm an Aries.
I've never got into like that stuff. And so the thing is, I'm also right on the cusp. I'm either a Leo or Virgo, depending on where you look.
I've never cared, but
What,
I'm actually.
I don't think
What's your birthday?
August 23rd.
we can look that up.
Aren't you? That's
Yeah.
Virgo.
You can
isn't
look it up
Yes,
and it tells you.
It says most places say Virgo, but there's also a lot of places that are like, oh yeah, till August 23rd, you're a Leo. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? They both apply when I read it.
They both are vague enough that they
I'm
apply
not
to them.
looking.
You got to
every
go
week.
back, find out what your birth time was, and figure
Wow.
out what your, asparagus rising
to
and
my
all that
wife.
other shit.
Gatorade.
My wife
your
microwave.
asparagus is in Gatorade.
Yeah.
Oh,
We are
well, that
gonna-
makes
That's what
sense.
it is.
This is kind of our plan. We haven't told a ton of people this, but I figure why not? In October,
Yeah.
we want to have kind of a witchier,
Ooh.
maybe satanic theme
Yes.
and have our guests be like, let's get some Satanists,
Satanists.
let's get some Wiccas and some witches.
I know some women. I can get you in touch with some witchy
we do
women.
too.
Just women in general. I just know women.
So I know a lot of witchy women.
They're
I can
not.
get you in
They're
touch.
not Wiccans or anything, but they're just like
They're just like
women.
witchy
I know
women.
It's an
women.
adjective
Yeah.
I use to
That's
describe them.
Yeah.
It's
I don't understand it, so I can't describe it properly.
Yeah, it's somebody that's like really into astrology. Like I want to hear.
Then the other things.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
I
They'll
don't.
make some room. They'll put some crystals out and burn some
Well,
things.
that's what I was thinking too. What if we made it like a little set? Like we had candles and then we had like
yeah.
a
Make it very-
satanic symbol in the middle and then like candles at each, the
You're going to have to
star
get some
point.
ventilation in here if you're doing
Yeah,
that.
That's a good point.
It's
Yeah.
already
We'll-
very hot,
we'll
and we
open the
started
window.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have great. We got to keep it quiet in here.
You have no ventilation. Don't
Well,
say
that's
you
the
don't have
thing.
great.
It's not great.
ventilation.
It's non-existent.
we turn it off because it's noisy. It's loud.
Not
and
because
so
of the
there's just like this constant whirring behind our voices. And so we turn it off. And now, we'll sweat. It's a sweat box, boys. Who knew we were getting schwitzing?
We got beer to rehydrate us.
We got some ayahuasca ready to go. We're going to start
do it.
sweating.
All the way back.
Oh, yeah.
All the way back to
that
sweating
is
and ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And we got there real fast.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear first off, for those that are tuning and looking at the beer, Stefan, why don't you walk us through what beer we're drinking? Because I'm sure there's going to be a couple flavors that we're testing tonight.
Oh, yeah. So I brought us, 5 different beverages.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I love that.
Well, there's 5 of us.
Well, yeah.
That's true.
Technically, 1 beer per person.
Math. I like it.
We started the evening with our barrel-aged Black is Beautiful Imperial Stout. It was brewed with molasses and vanilla and aged in an 18-year Jameson barrel for almost a year.
Whoa.
And it's been sitting in a bottle since 2020. So it's
wow.
Yeah, it's a vintage. It's 2020 vintage.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
So, yeah.
And you've decided
That's
to
so
waste it
cool.
on us. And
Well,
I
we've got
couldn't-
plenty more back at the brewery.
Shoot,
so,
I was
this
hoping it
isn't
would
our
be
last
like
bottle.
a very limited.
No, this is one of one, everybody.
One of
I mean,
100,000.
we do only have 1 case to ourselves, so
Right.
I did sacrifice.
Oh.
So it's 1/12, like a cool thing for you
Okay.
guys.
Primarily
cool.
for us, it was an opportunity for us to drink it, and
Correct.
then you just got some of it.
Well, I am honored.
Yeah,
it's-
we're
it's-
very honored.
It's delicious. We haven't had it since 2020, so it's
sir.
it's
Oh,
aged
wow.
really, really well.
It would really go well with Rice Krispie treats.
I know.
will.
Yeah.
And pull one of those up real quick.
Yeah,
So,
we've got Rice Krispie treats.
which is odd because I'm pulling up to the podcast and I see this lady walking on the street towards our
That-
building.
same lady?
That's not the odd part,
And
guys.
that's her.
Interesting.
And so that's what threw me off. I was like, did she just walk in here and start handing out
Am
Rice
I about to
Krispies?
take a trip?
I don't know. That's what we asked her.
she said no.
She said
She
no.
said no.
We're
There
gonna
was
find
no,
out, though.
And I said, we're about to do a podcast.
How's it taste?
Is this going to be weird?
If Zach wigs out in like 20 minutes, just zones out.
They're just
Keep the camera rolling.
Oh, yeah.
laced
Well,
with
no.
LSD.
He just gets quiet.
And so it was Amanda.
I believe
Yes.
so.
So Amanda,
Yes.
thank you for the Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
They are made with brown butter, which
Yeah.
was a key selling point for us to take them.
That's
They're,
actually
they're apparently hoity-toity versions of
we
it.
all
No,
got
that's
to
very
that's what
delicious.
she said.
we got to
Yeah.
try them here.
Cheers,
So
everyone.
So
this,
if
yeah.
we all go down, we're going down
Cheers,
together.
guys.
Oh boy,
This is
Man,
like
this is about to
this
be
is-
a very wild
this is like
podcast.
everything my parents told me not to do. Like
Don't eat candy with a
candy from a
strangers.
stranger.
very
Oh.
good. Very good.
Man,
Go
you can taste the
Go
brown
for it,
butter.
Matt.
That's really, really
That's yours,
good.
baby.
Yeah,
That's
you're
yours,
going.
baby.
Our podcast producer's going down too with us, so this may never even air.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's just like, did you even hit record?
We've been recording for 27 hours.
I haven't
That's
had.
what
Have you ever had a brown?
No.
That's.
What is brown butter?
It's just butter that you like cook until it's brown.
Browned.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Makes. I was
can-
like, is it a
It's
special?
browned
That's delicious.
butter.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not brown
No,
butter.
brown
No.
and
Because that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, that doesn't sound that appealing.
You're milking a cow and it's just like, oh, what is
Yeah.
coming out? Well, I guess that's the brown butter.
It's like when you turn the faucet on after not being there for a while, and
Yeah.
it's the first stuff that comes out. It's the brown milk. It's
I like it. I like it.
That's where chocolate milk comes from.
that is.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's actually delicious. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna
it-
find out in a few minutes.
It
how
pairs
much-
really well with
our black is
It
beautiful.
actually does.
It does. That's
It
why I
actually
wanted to do
does.
it. Yeah.
It's
I only
Sweet
have a swill
and
left.
savory.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm.
So
That-
what have you guys been up to?
Oh man, circling the drain, really. No, we're doing
No,
this.
that's, I mean, pretty close.
Shit. I guess just doing the same old, really. Like we went up to Fairbanks for an event.
Oh, yeah. We spent 24 hours in Fairbanks.
Yeah, which
Mm,
was
we
crazy.
did that
Yeah,
before.
it was bananas.
We,
like
we
12
didn't
hours.
even. Yeah, I was saying it was just like 12 hours. We were there.
Flew up, did the event, crashed, flew back.
I saw that you guys
That was it.
documented. Smart.
Yeah, that was on the Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Tic Tac.
Tiki-taki.
Yeah.
Tiki-taki.
And if you're not following them on TikTok, you really should because you guys just started
We
a
did.
TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's like, short clips, right?
Mhm.
Of like your videos, but a little, you're cooking in one of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was one of the most recent ones.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, okay. A brand who I feel like it's like us. It's like we're in our 30s. And it's like when you think TikTok, you don't think guys in their 30s trying to build a brand.
Right.
Well, you think.
Well,
you
I mean,
think,
I turned 40 a couple of weeks ago. So
oh,
there you go.
happy birthday, you
again,
son of a gun.
I'm an Aries.
Oh yeah,
It makes,
yeah,
it makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
so-
I don't
retrograding and all
don't
that
even
stuff.
know the dates, but that makes sense.
All 40-years are Aries? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
No,
implying?
I'm
kind
just
of a
saying,
thing.
I was an Aries, so I had to have turned,
40
I had a
recently.
birthday.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But you could honestly,
Keep up.
you could say like, "Oh, I was born on December and I'm an Aries." Like, I would have no clue.
Neither would I.
Fact check. Like,
I
I
only
don't
know
know.
mine.
Again,
Yeah, so
prove it.
Yeah.
So you're doing
So we're
TikTok.
doing the tiki-talkies.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you guys had you're taking clips from your Hot Ones ripoff, which is really funny with Clark Saunders, which I've known for years.
What?
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
that's
was I was a manager at the Eagle River Ale House, and
Oh
that
my
was when
God.
he was in real estate before he even
Before he worked for Matt Nuska.
before he worked for Matt
And now he's
Nuska.
back at real estate.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yep.
know that.
Yep.
Yeah, well, shout out to Clark because I always loved that guy. He was always a nice,
Phenomenal
nice
man.
dude.
He's a goober.
He's
So
a
we love him.
weird man, but we love him.
But it was like, you had a bunch of wings prepared by your chef, and basically, remind me what the thing was, because it was like, you had to put more hot sauce on if you got it wrong, or
Yeah.
That's the sauce you were putting
that is
on
the
there?
motion you just made.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a little bit more sauce. And
if you're not watching a YouTube video, you are missing out. I
Yeah.
swear.
That's the thumbnail right there.
that's actually the
I
thumbnail
would love
for Cinco Part 2 on TikTok. It's him shaking the hot sauce.
Oh, it's vigorously.
Oh, see, I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know what he's been posting.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry
that's
about it,
fine.
baby.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
All
it.
right, well.
So yeah, the Hot Ones ripoff. It was like your third one doing it.
Yeah, so we did a little combo with like the Newlywed Game where we would have like a question about one of us, and if we got it right, then we wouldn't have to add more sauce. If we got it wrong, then we had to add more sauce. Sort of.
Yes. Okay.
So-
Right.
And we did that. Plus, we used audience submitted questions for this round. Which,
Gotcha.
man, we got to get a better audience.
They were
questions
all
just
Yeah.
like
about
violent.
fighting, about fighting each other.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
I mean, there was like at least 6 or 7 questions about physically hitting or striking or fighting
Yeah.
or
They just must think that behind
Is that the
closed doors,
Valley?
we're
Is
just
that just like
beating the shit out of
the
each other.
Valley?
I know.
Yeah.
I want to see like a Thursday night fights. Like you
Yeah.
guys do it.
well,
with,
apparently
with
so
like
does everybody else.
giant
Honestly,
boxing gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Like
we
a
would
fun
bounce
sponsor
house.
an
Yeah.
event. We Go Fix Yourself would sponsor
Bounce house giant
Zack and
boxing
Stefan.
Yeah. Or like the
You know,
gladiator style
flying
on the
Yeah,
ramp.
posters, and
Right.
you guys are like face off.
fight of the century.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're in.
ridiculous.
If you guys
I'm
don't
not
wanna
gonna
do
lie.
that.
I feel a little. I'm
Why do you think they want that?
really a lot lighter than you are, and I think you'd be able to kick my ass.
Or you're just super light and like nimble and quick.
I don't
when
know.
does that ever
I mean,
pan out in a
yeah.
fight?
That is
They have
David and
possible.
Goliath. Okay, you want to throw that out?
Throw a rock at me.
Yeah.
from a distance.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
maybe
it's-
there's
I mean,
maybe
there it is.
maybe
It's
yeah.
keep a distance because
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I have to. I'll wind myself trying
Yeah,
to close
right.
the gap.
There you
It's
go.
a
There you
boxing
go.
fight,
Strategy,
and then
baby.
Stefan has a sling. And
I'm just throwing, whipping rocks at his head.
Yeah, it's like you get a power up every time you do a combo or something, and it's like Stefan gets the mace now, and then you feel
Oh.
cool. You're
it's like the gun game on Call of Duty. It
Yes.
upgrades each time you
Oh,
hit,
yeah,
get
yeah,
a hit.
I understand that reference.
Thank you.
oh wow.
I don't. I'm just pretending.
I
do.
barely do.
I've never
Each
played.
time you
it.
get a kill, your gun upgrades to
To like something better.
Okay.
Well, not
Yeah.
always. Technically,
Not always, but
but it
yeah.
changes.
yes,
I see.
And the first one to go through the hole.
And so I would start with a slingshot, and I would end with like an AK-47.
of
Is that the top end for you?
Well, I mean, in like a
like a-
hand-to-hand combat fight, I think that's pretty fucking
All right, that's
good.
fair.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it ends with a panzer.
It's got a pretty good track record. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a good segue because, like, you had people ask
I can't-
questions.
I
Hold
can't
on.
wait.
See where I'm going.
I
See where
am
I'm going.
No, I
waiting
see where
for
you're
this,
going.
yes.
People ask questions.
They do.
To you guys for Hot Ones, and so we were like, all right, what do we want to do for this episode of the Go For Yourself podcast? We're gonna have you guys back on. We love you guys. We think you're doing amazing stuff. We love your beer, and we think you're just one of the sexiest,
Oh God.
Hottest.
sexiest, and hottest
I know.
couple entrepreneurs out there.
You asked for it.
Yeah. And so we
They'll
asked.
cut to them at that moment.
Yeah, they were.
We asked our audience, like, hey, let's give us some questions. Let us fix something that maybe is broken, or if you have a question
we weren't
just
that
for the four of us.
specific.
Well, I don't know what we
We
got.
should have done that because we could have done like a Dr. Drew sort of situation.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
we've been talking about doing
Yeah.
at some point.
Why
It's
didn't-
like a
why didn't we
Dr.
do that?
Drew setup.
Yeah.
This would've
But
been a
that's
great-
not the way that Kyle pitched the questions.
No,
And
it's
Yeah,
so
so
that's not how we.
we
You know
don't-
what? I didn't think about it really
Neither did
Hardly
I.
at all.
surprise.
Until literally
I was
just
just
now.
like, let's just ask the people and
Actually,
see what they
Kyle
come
was
up.
the one that came up with all the questions.
These are actually all Kyle submitted.
Yeah.
Can you see who submitted them?
Well, that's the thing is some people don't follow directions well. There's one on here. Their question is Jason. So they they did really well. Jason, thank you, my man.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you think about that?
Well, well, from my experience, so it's just literally the word like his
It's
name.
just the word
name
Jason.
Jason. Oh, that's
Yeah.
I wonder if
fantastic.
he like thought there was going to be like,
Like
another
another part?
slide.
Yeah.
Like, because I think
Yeah,
I
leave
saw
your
it.
name or don't or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
And
maybe-
it was just like one box. And then if he was like, all right, my name is Jason, next
Yeah.
slide. And then it was
then
like,
submit. Yeah.
I will say from the beginning, there was a couple good ones. And so I'm going to read the first one.
Okay.
Ready?
Here we go.
This person actually left their name. They said, "It's Dave. You have just committed murder.
Oh, fuck.
This is a role play?
Yes. What was your motive?
Ah.
And what's the percentage of the chance you'll get away with it?"
Oh, God. I think you and I have talked about this before. We would definitely get away with killing someone.
Why would you say that while we're
Why on tape?
Just
I
kidding.
no
You
recollection
heard
of
it here
any
first.
conversation.
We've never
that
previously-
we have never premeditated.
No.
FBI, you got that?
of how it's the OJ said. If I did it,
If
here's
I did
how,
it, this is how I would do
We're
it.
going to publish a book about it later.
I mean,
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about ballsy, right?
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
did it.
If
He
I
went,
did
he went to
it.
jail
Ask
anyway.
the question again. What's the full
Okay.
worded question?
First off,
Yeah.
it's Dave,
Hey,
which
Dave.
I like.
Hey, sup, Dave?
do you guys know Dave? Do you guys know?
I
what
know.
We
Dave-
know so many
Either-
Daves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, but he says you have just committed murder.
Mm-hmm.
What was your motive, and what percentage chance would you get away with it?
I feel this almost feels like we should like improv a sketch or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say mine's gonna be road rage. Like
Mm.
that's pisses me off. Nothing more. I'm always like, I wish I had rockets on the front of my car, so I
that-
could just fire
Twisted
and
Metal style.
100%, or the wheels.
Video
that's-
games, yeah.
yeah.
Not to like derail too much, but that actually reminds me of the way that if I ever were to kill myself, that's how I'm going to kill myself. So-
rage?
Road rage.
That wasn't
Yeah.
the question, but
Yourself.
I like
So
where
we're
your
gonna.
head's
This is actually I've thought this all the
Again,
way through.
premeditated.
at. Premeditated.
I'd be like, okay, today's the day that
Today's
I'm
the day.
gonna do it, and
Finally, here we
I
go.
would hear it and so then I would be driving down the road, and I would just keep going back and forth down some highway or intersection, waiting for someone to cut me off or slight me right in a car.
Mm-hmm.
I would then get up next to them, make eye contact with them, and then shoot myself in the
Oh
head,
my god!
so that they knew
it was them.
it was their fault.
God.
Oh my! I don't even know this.
I can picture it.
damn.
That
Shit.
person's never gonna drive again.
It's
You
God,
you
we've
leave a
only
legacy.
been at this
You
21
leave a
minutes.
legacy.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's an 8-year-old kid in the
Right.
backseat giving him the
Legacy.
finger.
It
Right.
doesn't matter. He shouldn't have cut me off.
shouldn't-
I
yeah.
shouldn't. I didn't choose this.
Yeah,
Right.
I came
Well,
out.
You did. You
well, I
did.
choose
You
to kill
literally.
him, but
okay.
yes,
But that person.
But they
Yeah.
could have been. It could be anybody. Could
Oh,
cut me
that was
off.
not what I was expecting.
I have a-
I was expecting like you were gonna be like, just run into him and then knock him off.
Yeah,
the
no.
road.
I want to make. That's the whole thing. Is I want them to see me
Yeah.
and then do the
God,
thing.
this is
Yeah.
why
And
we
then
had
your
you guys
car is
on.
gonna. Jeez.
yeah.
You're gonna
but
cause
I mean, like,
some mayhem.
Do you think
They'll
that,
remember me
remembered.
forever.
Do you think
That's
if you,
it.
so reverse roles, you're that person and someone drives up to you and would you be like, so I saw him do this. Would you tell anybody?
I think I'd laugh, especially.
my God, that makes
I-
it so much worse.
I would
Just
look over at my
speed up.
wife. Yeah.
yeah.
Look over at my
Just
wife.
drive away.
Somebody's having a bad day.
Case of the Mondays.
Am I right?
Yeah. No, but
Oh,
if someone
my God.
did that to me, knowing that that's my plan, I'd be like, ha! He did it.
He did it.
That son of a bitch, he
God,
did it.
man.
Me too.
That was exactly what I wanted to do, and it was,
Honey, did you see that guy that stole my idea?
And she's crying.
Yeah.
She's like, the guy that just shot himself. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
That's plagiarism.
Yeah. Check my diary.
Yeah.
I had that
I
idea
said
first.
that on the Go Fix Yourself podcast.
Check the
Right.
podcast.
Check
It's
the
documented.
tapes.
Yeah.
Check the
Well,
tapes. I
listen.
said it.
Anyway, sorry.
If you need any
What was the question?
help or you have mental
yeah.
health issues, you should seek help.
Seek help.
That's all we want to say right now.
Definitely
The
Make
disclaimer.
sure, disclaimer.
866 or 955 or whatever the
the
number
number
is
is.
now.
We don't condone any of that.
But you can't cut it out.
It's a bit. It's a bit. It's funny.
True.
It's funny. It's a bit.
It's a bit, but is it though?
We'll have a trigger warning on this one.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Zach, what would yours be?
Oh God, I haven't even thought of mine. I've been so
Mine would obviously be some sort of rage, and probably an accident. I think it would be an accident.
Overkill.
Oh yeah, too much.
Yeah.
And then 100% I would get away with.
Or just like being really bad at a prank, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's just pranking. I'm just good at those.
Got him.
yeah.
Oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah. It would
Fall off a cliff.
right.
Shit.
Because of who I am as a person, it would probably be an accident.
Yeah.
Either prank or rage. And then
instead of coming clean, you'd be like,
pick
I'm
them
getting
up
away with
and
this.
No, this never happened. No, I accidentally almost killed a man in D.C.
Yes, he did.
Okay. That's a great.
Protecting
the floor is
children.
yours.
He was protecting students of
dude,
his.
super drunk, was coming up and like all up in our business, and I was like, "Hey man, you got to go." And I gave him a little pop on the chest when he came towards me.
Yeah.
But
Went through his body.
My little pop sent him careening off of the sidewalk and bonked his head real hard
Onto concrete.
Yeah. And I stood there for a minute, hearing the gasps of students, and I was just like, please breathe. Please
get up.
Please, God.
Please get up. Please. And he's, "Aye, Poppy." And I was like, oh, thank God. Okay,
Yeah, good.
cool.
Oh my
And
God.
then you
It would be an
stomped
accident.
him.
It would be an accident.
You know, that was a colorless story until you.
That's what he said to me. That is what he
his quote.
said to me.
Don't be looking at the future questions. What's your motive?
Yeah. I'm
And
trying to
1%.
think of mine because I'm like, we haven't even technically answered the question yet.
No.
Well, sure. Like,
well, he
his
kind of did.
rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
would be an accident.
How did you
probably.
get away with it though?
So
That was
the-
the
Well,
other
he was a
question.
smaller guy, so I
The,
just
the
picked
answer
him
to
up.
my version
I
is
just
I
picked
would
him up
kill
and taken him
myself.
with me.
That would be the murder.
The murder
So that's
is
the
me.
murder.
And then I would get away with it because
0%.
I'm not. I'm dead at
Yeah.
that point. I'm not fucking
You're not
there.
alive. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I did answer the question.
And then self-defense. I would imagine you're getting away with it. Self-defense.
I will claim self-defense every time.
Okay.
For sure.
Stand
your ground.
Go for it, Kyle. I still haven't thought of mine. yet.
Mine would be. I don't see myself going through, but it would be like road rage because nothing pisses me off more than like a stupid driver.
Nice blinker, motherfucker.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
like, if you had missiles on your vehicle, like in the future, of course, like
When
I'm
we're-
using them, like immediately. And so that I wouldn't get away with it. They'd lock me up right away, and I would not do well in prison.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I'm thinking, all
You're
right,
too pretty. Yeah.
how would I kill someone? And I'm like, I've never thought of this. I don't have dark
That's
thoughts
strange.
like you do. And so
Yeah, Stefan.
Like we all do.
That-
Yeah,
Come on
we do
now.
single
Just
you
let
out.
this
You're
out.
alienating
Yeah.
people.
I'm sorry.
If you have dark thoughts, it's completely normal.
Again, 855 or 2922.
I don't have dark
I
thoughts.
do.
Come
My rage does come out on the road a lot. We were on vacation. And I'm driving, in LA with my wife, and LA's traffic heavy. Oh my
For
God,
sure.
my rage, my blood boiled a lot more.
Those are missiles.
Yeah, those-
You're driving the James Bond car over here.
I would be.
I
Yeah,
just like
seriously.
love that you're just like, in the future when we have missiles on our cars, that's what's gonna happen.
You know what? We had drones.
We don't
Drones
even
got
have
missiles.
like self-driving cars yet, and you're like, next step, missiles.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I'm thinking that many steps ahead. Okay,
see.
Stefan. I'm playing a different game.
Dude's living in 3,000.
I know.
He is like,
Guys playing checkers.
We got to catch up.
Kyle's over here playing chess.
I'm playing 4D chess. over here.
Again, I would not get away with any type of murder.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, now I need to get off the grid and leave. I'd be like, I'll go to my buddy Darren's house. And it's like, Darren's
Darren's going to turn you in.
Darren will find the FBI and then call me in.
or you'd be like, I found this like cabin in the woods, and you'd like still checking in on your Instagram and stuff like that. And
I
they'd be
got
like,
a post today.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Oh, we just got to
It's
ping,
like- it's like a
guys.
beautiful
He's actually
landscape.
only 2 miles away.
Yeah.
He actually didn't go that far.
That's the thing is, it's like so hard to get
Love this
away with
Airbnb.
anything. It would have to be
5 stars.
This place is great. Very
for
remote.
hiding out from
Yeah.
for hiding
So
out from the cops.
We just looked at Steven's past credit card transactions. He rented a car
Under his own name.
Yeah.
and then he went to Seward at an Airbnb, and he's eating at Seward Ale House right now. Actually,
And they locked him in because he said, "Do you know who I am? I am Stephen Cornfield. I want this for
the
free."
audacity.
One of my favorite things, just randomly, is to watch interrogation videos on YouTube. And we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I absolutely love watching just horrible people be cornered. And like, especially when they
It
have
is
the
interesting.
evidence, because you're like, this person is such like a pathological liar. They will not admit. And the detectives are playing this weird cat and mouse game. And I'm like, I don't think I could hold up to like the hours on end of being like questioned and
absolutely not.
hey buddy, you know, like it's okay if you did it. Like, I mean, we'll just get you.
I would totally understand. I mean, I would have done it too if I was you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
My wife
Got
drives
me.
me crazy too,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Sometimes,
Sometimes I just want to fire the missiles in my car.
You want to do that too?
yeah. You want to play some Twisted Metal? Like, yeah.
There's some pretty crazy videos of like the one guy who just like when they leave the room just like stares in the corner. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
For like 2 straight hours. Unmoving. Like,
The one that I thought was the most, and this is going down a dark thing, but this was like
Hey,
in
the question
Canada.
was
Just now,
Right.
That was a
you
dark one to
opened
start.
with
Yeah.
this dark. You could have picked any
I
other
did not.
question.
It's the first one. It's Dave's fault.
we're doing it in chronological order.
For the most part, was in Canada. It was a guy that was a military helicopter pilot, and he murdered different women that he knew and was like taking their clothes and wearing them and taking pictures of himself,
sure,
right?
sure.
And
Sure. Yeah.
it's completely normal.
Yeah.
And
That checks out.
eventually they kind of traced his
Oh, she a
footprints.
size 15? Cool.
Yeah. She's 13 and a half shoes.
I love that blouse.
But I mean, Polaroids of himself and, the whole process of them like, oh, these shoes match your shoes. These tire tracks match your tires. All these things. Oh, man, that's crazy. What's the chance?
What are the chances?
And
What a
he's just
coincidence.
straight up just being like, that's whoa.
It's like about 2 hours long of him, and then they're like putting the map of like where he went and his cell phone like signal, and they're like, do you see what?
and he's just denying it
he's
the whole
just
time.
like chewing gum. He's like, and I mean, it's just like
that's a great soundbite, by the way.
right, but just like watching
People
his
listening.
face like kind of like slowly melt to like, okay, like, can you tell my wife that?
They got me.
Yikes.
And it turned this whole
Yeah.
like serious like, and he's like, just make sure my wife's okay.
Well, that's
and I'm
the-
like, well, what about all those women and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That
Well, that's like the psychopathy, right? Where it's like they're
their mask
Well,
fell
yeah,
off
mhm.
eventually.
right.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's
That's
something
crazy.
about watching people get caught that I like love because I hate when.
That's because you're learning.
yeah,
What
just
not to
waiting.
do.
I got my notebook.
Honestly, if I see like
Taking notes.
Kyle Redding
Yeah.
taken into custody because he shot missiles at a guy on the road, I'd be like, that tracks.
Yeah,
I get it.
he'll do great in the interrogation.
Until he doesn't.
He's watched enough.
Until he doesn't. Until he doesn't.
What are you bringing out now?
Well, I mean, if Kyle would hurry up and
Well,
drink his
I'm
goddamn
sorry, I was just
beer.
telling a story. Okay.
A great
The
story.
great-
Well, you guys aren't ready for the next question. Though.
Well, so
I mean, if it's anything like that one, I don't know. Oh, man.
It's less intense. And so,
Bless
why,
you.
why don't you tell us what
Thank you.
beer this is, and then we'll read the second question.
I'm gonna actually bring it back to the first thing you asked us when you're like, "Hey, what have you been up to?" And both of us didn't remember that we had our 7-year anniversary like a month ago. So
Blacked
we've-
out.
Yeah,
Lucky number 11.
Did we have
That's right. 7-year itch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
We celebrated
So-
7 years.
Yep, we've been open for 7 whole years.
wow.
And this is our Bitter Union. It's the first beer that I ever made for Zach on his 32nd birthday. It was before we were
15 years ago?
yeah. Yeah, 1500 years ago.
Such
Zach's a
such
half
a
elf.
Virgo thing to say.
Yeah. Classic Virgo. Are you guys feeling those brownies yet?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is our anniversary ale. It's a Imperial West Coast IPA.
Okay.
It's called Bitter Union.
I like the name.
Yeah.
Solid.
You guys do have good names for your beers.
Oh, that's all this cutie over
Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, well, better. So Bitter Union. This has been a continual like redo every anniversary. We come back with a different version of it, but it's always a throwback to like a West Coast style, like an OG IPA, malty, hoppy, bitter, and it can range anywhere from 85 to 110 IBUs. And
and this one we did. I actually found this is Matt's.
Yeah.
I actually found our second ever recipe of this, and then I recreated it.
How do you
cool.
guys keep track of all that stuff? Just like a online document,
Oh,
or like do you keep it on
absolutely not.
paper, like in a safe?
I have it on a green notepad in the brewery that you could go and grab whenever you feel like it. It's just
Very
old
organized.
SNS, the dated, numbered green books that the military gets.
Matt, can you toss
yeah.
this? Can you toss this? I think the trash is right behind you.
Yeah.
It's empty.
Do you guys ever think you'll go digital with that?
Oh yeah, this year I'm gonna actually make some time and
This
do
is
that.
the year.
This is the year. This is
Lucky
the one.
number
finally
7.
after-
The year I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting till the end.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh fuck!
I'm gonna
man.
hire someone to
I
do
know. Like, you guys ever want to start a brewery? I know exactly where to get
it.
recipes.
Yeah.
Well, why
I
don't
got
we?
like 3 books sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, of all the memories. You know what? We're gonna skip chronological. I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
this
After
is
we.
good.
It's
This is good. Let's
Excuse
cheers.
me. Cheers.
Look at me in the eye.
I did. Yeah.
I looked
right.
in your. Okay, fine. I looked at you.
Cheers,
Looked
Matt.
at you.
Cheers.
Mac is the. Oh, I love that camera shot. Cheers!
Oh,
right
yeah.
in front of the. That was perfect.
We'll put the logos toward the
I
camera.
think I did.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I
that
think
was
I
perfect.
actually, yeah. It's just
Nice.
can't help
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Logos out sometimes.
Yeah, make sure the Bleeding Heart Brewery logo
always
is
out.
pointed towards your camera.
Logos out.
always.
Yep.
This
Wow, that
this
is-
one
that
doesn't
turned out
have a
good.
name submitted with it, but what is?
Probably fucking Jason.
Yeah, it might be. It's close. We're not going chronological anymore. What is the worst beer you ever created? Taste, color, name, sales. If you could go back and recreate it, what would you
Oh
change?
well, that you know what? That's a great question for us to start out with.
Mine is a
Nope, that cuts us out.
yeah.
What's your
It's not
guys'?
for us.
Oh, right.
Clearly, it's
Well,
not
I
for
know,
us.
I'm sorry. I thought you were like, oh, we know what your worst beer
That's what I was
was.
waiting
I was
on.
like, what the
No.
fuck?
wait
This
for you
one
guys to
right
put
here,
out a
I
good
really
one.
don't like this one.
God
This is
damn.
garbage.
No. What's the?
We've answered this question, I think, 3 times.
So
now.
many times.
Yeah, because it
3?
came up.
That's it, though?
It came
That's
up,
not bad.
and in another Ask Us Anything, there
It's the
are
same
2
guy.
beers
Yes.
that I mean,
Bother
we
you?
sold them, but
We didn't. We
you guys
dumped,
wanna-
we, dumped, we
Great.
dumped both of them out.
not
Do
all
you guys,
of it.
well, you
No,
don't
not
have
all of
you
it.
don't have to put a name out there if you don't want to. But
Oh, no,
like
I'll
what?
tell you.
no,
okay,
I'll
yeah,
tell
tell
you.
it.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah, you go first.
bring it on, baby.
Well, so the two
Yeah,
I'm,
go
that I'm
for it. Do
assuming
it.
you're thinking of is I can't remember the name of it, but the turkey beer. What would we name
Jive
it?
Ass Turkey.
No, Jive Ass Turkey.
No,
was,
that's 2 Jive Turkeys. Jive
oh,
Ass
yeah,
Turkey.
Jive Ass Turkey, right? Which
Was
I don't
that
know
one?
if we're allowed to say anymore.
Yeah, after
Too late.
semi-pro made
We-
that a
Yeah.
bad thing to say.
Anyway.
Semi what?
Semi-pro.
The Will
Prostitute?
Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't say
When he
it.
says
Oh,
he says
Jive.
that on the movie, they're like, "Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
the worst thing you could say."
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I kind of remember
Hey,
that.
we
right.
all live and we learn, okay?
Okay. Well, we said it. I mean,
It's
it is
done.
what
I
it
mean,
is.
we
That's
don't.
what it's
I don't
called.
condone myself for
Yeah.
saying it, but
Guys, we made it 120 episodes, and then we got canceled.
Then we're done.
we got
Then we got canceled.
Thanks. So anyway, it was
That one.
a turkey beer, and then also one called mixed nuts. Right?
Hold on. Let's talk about the turkey beer.
Yeah.
Did you have to put turkey in it?
Oh yeah.
An
Oh my
entire
God.
turkey carcass.
Oh shit! Cooked, uncooked.
Cooked for sure.
Okay,
For
I was
sure
gonna
cooked.
say, wow, that's
No, we went
ballsy.
through a real like so. Okay, so here's
It's like
the thing.
the old cock.
Salmonella.
Yes. So the word cocktail originates in an old medieval drink actually called a cock ale. They would cook a chicken in the beer that they were brewing, eat the chicken, and then ferment the beer and then drink the beer.
Oh, so there's actually like a history.
This is a real thing.
That sounds really
So
cool.
why?
Super cool, right? Sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah.
But like, why? Like, why have the chicken in there? Is there something that makes it?
I don't know, man.
Would you cook it and then you drink
Well, it's like
the
boiling
stuff?
chicken. You don't
yeah,
boil chicken
boiled
at home?
chicken. Yeah.
Well, right, but I mean, like, is there a special reason why it would ferment or something differently?
No, I think it was just like, hey, we got a pot boiling. I got to cook this chicken.
Let's then take
Let's
that
throw
and make
shit in
booze
there.
afterwards.
take
Yeah.
that chicken juice.
Yeah.
and make
So,
it.
Throw a
Yeah.
chunk of
if
bread
you
in
could
there.
describe to us what it tasted like, did it actually taste like turkey juice?
So here's the thing. What we did is we baked the turkey.
Okay.
We boiled the baked turkey alone.
Okay.
Skimmed the fat off like 3 times, trying to get as much of the grease out as possible.
Smart.
Then we crushed the turkey into like a smaller. into like a
This
sack.
is
thing.
appealing.
I know it sounds great.
Fascinating.
I know what you're thinking. Where can I get some of this beer?
Oh, where could we have gone wrong?
I'm
Yeah.
thirsty.
The gobbler.
Then we brewed up like an old school classic brown ale with like cranberries and spices and shit like that, and we put the turkey in. And honestly, for being a turkey beer, it wasn't bad.
Well,
Wasn't great.
It wasn't good.
But it
honestly,
wasn't
how you
terrible.
just pitched it, I'm like,
Give it a shot.
I could drink that.
You know, turkey, spices, cranberry.
Yeah.
Like theoretically in your brain, you
they
can
have,
put it
like-
together
they all
where
have kind of
this
weird-
could taste good.
Yeah, they have weird drinks nowadays. There's like a turkey
I mean,
soda
Jones
out there.
Soda
for sure.
does
Yeah,
a
yeah.
turkey and gravy soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
I
were
don't
some
think they
weird
actually
flavors.
put turkey in it though.
Well,
Anyway,
cowards.
Never had it. Never had it.
Yeah. Anyway, so to describe to you how it tasted like a brown ale
Okay.
with the slicky mouthfeel of drinking a turkey. Like, because you imagine drinking
Oh God,
the liquid of a
Listen,
turkey.
blending it.
Take
there's
the skin
any-
and
if there's-
just suckle off of the turkey skin.
Or like the juice in the bottom of the
Yeah,
tray after
yeah.
you bake a
Dump
turkey.
that
and you just like,
in.
la, 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 la.
Yeah.
If
You
there's
know.
any adjective I want my beer to have, slicky is
Slicky.
definitely one of them.
This
It's
is the
slicky.
slickiest beer you've ever had.
What's the mouthfeel?
And I can just imagine
Slicky.
somebody
Slicky.
saying, "It's the slickiest beer I've ever had. This is good."
Okay.
So yeah, we dumped most of that out.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people
it's,
liked it. Some
they
people
did.
really
Some people
liked
keep
it.
asking for
So
it.
you actually sold it
We did.
We did.
We put it on tap.
on tap
for
Okay.
a while.
How
until
long
it
ago was
like,
that?
Hey, we should get rid of this.
2017 or 18.
18.
Okay, a while
I
ago.
think 18.
You guys
Yeah.
have learned.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
for
that's about the
sure.
time that we made mixed nuts. Also,
Yeah,
a
we
beer
were,
you can get really balls deep into.
we were kind of on
Like
a
it.
Is that
meat beer kick.
numero dos?
Yeah.
So you guys were just like, you know what? Let's go for number 2.
Yeah.
And so mixed
well,
nuts
no,
taste
mixed
like
nuts might have come out first.
No, it did not.
Did it come out second?
It did,
So okay.
So there's a hat trick in here somewhere.
We just kind of were on like a meat beer kick for some reason. We've also done one with bratwurst, which actually turned out
that
great.
is a good beer.
I remember you
Yeah,
guys
that is a
telling me
good
about
beer.
that.
The
one,
bratwurst
actually.
one turns out awesome. It's
that
a
was an
bratwurst Bach.
accident, but it was a very good.
I think
Yeah.
I had the beet one because there's
Yes,
one where
totally
we vlogged
Bratwurst and
I was
beets.
like, I don't know how this is gonna taste. I think you guys told me about the bratwurst one when it was like around that time.
Yeah,
because it
we-
was like it was soon after.
We've done it a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd love to bring that one back. That one tastes
yeah.
great. I
It's
really like
very
the
good.
It's
bratwurst.
like you put
The
sauerkraut
smoked-
in there or anything.
No,
Or
so it's just like the spices that go into a bratwurst and then also bratwurst into the beer.
nice.
Yeah. And then eating the bratwurst after is fucking
because they're all
bet it's
candied.
so
Oh,
good.
it's
Dip it
so
in the
good.
beer.
it's like candied.
cooked
It's
in
killer.
the beer.
Yeah.
I know, but I take it another one.
And then you have
So
another
good.
beer and
It's
then
like
you
a
dunk
French
it in
dip.
there.
Yeah.
You're just dipping the bratwurst in
Yeah.
there. That's actually really good.
Ooh,
The
French
mixed
So
nuts
mixed nuts.
had testicles in it.
It did.
Not ours.
Which whose?
Not ours.
Bull,
Cow, yes.
Okay,
bull,
yeah.
bull testicles.
Okay.
And we were hoping to scale
Rocky
it up
Mountain oysters.
to do a larger version
Don't name it
With-
with dabba-dabba.
with moose testicles.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't calling them out.
Oh, no, it's okay.
With another brewery
Yeah.
that was like green lighting this. And so we were doing a collab and I have a picture of Stefan with
giant moose nuts.
Giant
Where
bull
was he holding them?
testicles.
So that was mixed nuts.
That was called mixed nuts.
It was.
The flavor profile was minerally.
Salty.
minerally.
Yeah. Have you ever
Yeah.
had like bloodwurst or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you ever
that's-
put a bunch of pennies in your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh.
Done that.
Yeah.
Been there.
I did that yesterday, man.
So where did I mean? Those are fair because those are kind of high risk.
Stupid.
Well, no, I mean,
Silly.
now you feel stupid, right?
Yeah.
But like at the time, I feel
Experiment.
like you're trying to something new, and you never
Yeah.
know when you hit gold, right? Like,
True.
I mean, that's how the bratwurst beer was.
Well,
it was
right.
a complete accident that I was
the cocktail,
committed to it.
Like,
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then
Well,
it worked out.
Isn't there like a new Belgian beer where it's like made from one of their brewers' yeast in his
That's
beard?
Rogue.
That's
That's
Rogue.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, like,
Gross.
That's yeast.
yeah, but still, there's like weird, like, and
Things.
that's a pretty damn good beer.
Yeah.
It's like, so there's weird things, and maybe if like one of these, if mixed nuts, the moose nut beer
Could
would have taken off,
Yeah.
you'd be like, that was a great idea.
one's crab beer.
Click clack. Click clack.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's other weird, really crazy beers like Dogfish Head did chicha. Do you know what chicha is? It's an Aztec, I believe, Aztec beverage, and it's chewed corn that then you spit out into a fermentation
I
vessel.
know. Okay.
And then the enzymes in your mouth ferment and like process that.
Okay.
And they did a full batch and sold it nationally, and it was great. It
They
was,
had the entire staff
yeah.
chewing corn.
Like their
all
accountants
day.
and shit like that.
Spitting it
Yeah.
into 5-gallon buckets.
Yep.
Wow.
Every staff member at Dogfish was chewing corn and spitting it into a bucket.
What
and
a
then they
day.
brought it all.
Right. That
Yeah. Everybody was talking about how sore. Yeah.
your jaw.
So I mean, like
man.
stuff like
My
that,
jaw is
and like
sore.
you said, the yeah, that would be Anyway. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, Jaw's sore for another reason.
Yeah, there we go. Hey-o.
Zing.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's really weird stuff out there that ends up being really good. I think that we did the bratwurst beer first, and it was badass, and we're like, you know what? All meat beers are going to be great, and then they weren't.
Turns out the
And
one meat beer was very
that's
good.
the only one that was good,
That was a
yes.
winner.
So when I'm watching like we talked about kind of before the podcast started, like the Vikings, Last Kingdom and stuff, they're always drinking ale, right? Like that's the beverage of choice. Like what, as somebody that doesn't know and hasn't looked into it much, like what is that? Like what do you think the alcohol content's like? Is it like the cheap, like gross stuff that they're drinking all the time? Or
Yes.
I mean, obviously it would vary from village to village and stuff,
our
but
palate is a little bit more intense, I would imagine, than they were. Like we're like, this is good, this is not good.
Sure.
They were just like, fuck it, give it to me.
well,
I think-
anything other than the water that wasn't clean. Probably,
yeah,
too.
I think it also just has to do with like, oh, you guys got some of that shit that makes me drunk.
Right.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I hate life.
Like
I
I don't
hate
really
it.
care what it tastes like.
yeah.
Give me
Right.
some of that.
I'm feeling the spirit.
I just saw a guy shoot himself in his
Yeah, he
Yeah.
cut me off.
Well, my daughter's dead.
Yeah. Okay, here's a
Give me some ale. But so, I mean, in general terms, ale is actually one of the two main categories of beer. There's ales and there's lagers.
Sure.
And the biggest difference is that ales are fermented at warmer temperatures and lagers are fermented at colder temperatures.
Gotcha.
The most common yeast that you find, like naturally occurring, is an ale yeast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why they generally, say, oh, here's your glass of ale or whatever. And generally speaking, historically, it would probably be really low alcohol content.
Right.
Grains were not modified back then. They didn't have science to be like, hey, let's, get the maximum fermentation out of this thing. So, yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, most people were just doing that because it was, like you said, cleaner than water.
Yeah.
So how would they go about like? I mean, so would you have to have like some brewer there that like had the knowledge, or was it pretty common? Do you think it was common knowledge back then on how to make beer?
A lot of it's speculation. I mean, the oldest beer recipe is a Sumerian text that's like 10,000 years old or something like that. But like
Those
we don't know
Sumerians.
how they figured that out. I think a
Right.
lot of people. I mean, a lot of documentaries say
Ancient aliens.
it was aliens. Yeah,
Of course.
it was aliens. They went and they made the pyramids, and then they were like, you know what?
You guys need to get drunk more often.
You guys did real good.
Here's your reward.
Let's just chill out for a little while.
Yeah.
They also invented happy hour. Aliens did. Yeah,
I bet.
I mean,
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think some of it, as we've talked about before, has something to do with like the juices that were, or the juice of the fruits that were going bad, and then the natural yeast.
A lot of it was
fermenting
accidental.
that, and
Right.
accidentally
Somebody was
Yeah.
drinking
it-
some
and
old
they were,
grapes.
and they were like, "Oh my God, this is,
I'm wasted.
this
A lot-
is God."
From what I
Yeah.
understand, a lot of it was actually them witnessing animals
Getting drunk
eating
off
these
it.
fermented
Eating the
things, and then
berries.
being like, "Hey,
Yes,
that's a goofy goat." Let me
Well, I
go.
mean,
what's
especially-
what you got over there?
With like plants and mushrooms and stuff, as you
Exactly.
see something feeding off that, and they're like, "Oh, dude."
Isn't that also how like coffee was discovered too? Like caffeine, like they're just like they saw
Um,
birds or somebody like eating these berries and like getting really fucking.
I'm sure it's
haven't
all
haven't
you
done
know.
much history on drinks
Well-
of the past.
that. When you were talking about the cocktail, that kind of got me interested because one thing that I learned about was perpetual stew. Do you know about that?
yeah.
And I was like so fascinated with
How do
like
you guys know? No, I don't know.
some of us are learned folk. Okay.
Pick up a book, Cornfield. Jesus.
Hold on, I'm sure there's someone out there listening, being like, I don't
Everybody
know what that is,
knows
Kyle.
about perpetual stew. Essentially, so like in medieval times, whenever you see like the vat over the fireplace, a lot of
The
times,
cauldron.
yeah, that cauldron would be burning 12 months a year,
yeah,
and they would
keep
just
putting
add stuff into it
For
and take it
hundreds
out.
I
of
mean, not for
hundreds of
nothing,
years.
Cornfield. The
Right.
clues were in the context. It's called
Perpetual.
perpetual
I mean,
stew.
I
And
got
so
it.
it's like
I
an
got it.
ongoing stew
I get it.
You
forever.
just keep perpetually.
He's playing dumb for the listener.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a Virgo. It's a Virgo
It's
thing,
a Virgo
dude.
thing. Or Leo.
God.
We don't know.
And
We
so
don't know.
I learned that there's one that's
no way
still
to know.
going.
Yes, in China,
Nobody
in Beijing, it's
Thailand or
it's
somewhere.
some
but it's
East
been
Asian
going for
country.
45 years.
Oh, there's one that's way longer than that.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the one that I read about was like they have to every year they do a cleaning, so they transfer it to another pod to like clean it and
Sure.
then transfer it back in. But it's been burning essentially for half a century.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure there's one that's been going currently still for over
Sure.
100 years. I
But
believe.
how fascinating would that be to like I'll have some of the stew and it's kind of changed flavor over the week because we added like some dead cat to it like way back in the day or whatever was around. You just
Anything.
throw a potato in there. You're like,
Yep.
Well, there is this restaurant in Memphis that we used to go to. It's called Dyer's Restaurant, I think it is. It's one of like the most like staple, iconic Memphis restaurants. It's a chain now. But their claim to fame is that they have the same grease as they did 50 years ago. They're still making burgers in the same grease.
That's
And
rad. That's rad.
It tastes good. It
Oh,
tastes
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But that's their claim to fame. And they actually will have an armored truck take this grease to like another location.
Shut up.
Yep, that's serious. Like it
sounds like a marketing ploy.
That's
it has to be,
Yeah.
right? Because it, I mean, like
the same grease.
It's like having
it
the
could be just
same
like a little glob and then it's just
sourdough
popping in.
mother at
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Boudin's
The
or
same-
whatever,
yeah.
whatever
Same
the
mother.
Same kinda
bakery is in
idea.
San Francisco. Yeah.
Yeah, at first you're like, this is gross, but then you're like, actually, it's not that bad.
which is actually it's almost the same sort of thing. There's a style called Solera brewing, which is basically like the perpetual stew, but like you always leave some percent of whatever that beer was in there, and then you just keep topping it up. And then the yeast that's in that barrel will re-ferment, and then you just drink some of it, and you add more back, and you just keep doing that. So
People were just
Which we've been doing
we have
for the last 5 years out of one of our barrels.
Really?
The Self-Loathing series has been a Solera style for the
Shit.
last 5 years. And
been longer
then
than
we
no self-loathing. We brewed the year that we
Self-Loathing
opened.
with tobacco.
Yeah,
Oh,
year we
yeah.
opened.
So it's 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
So that barrel has
Wow.
been, so it had Fat Autumn. The very first run of Fat Autumn was in there. And then we dumped a Self-Loathing one and then Self-Deprecation and Self-Obsession and all that. So we've done an actual
Cool.
like self series.
Mhm.
And then we've transitioned out of the self series, but continued using the same Solera barrel. And so last year we had Saint Savio, which is the saint of garbage people. And so it's a raccoon that is on the label, and
Yep,
it was a Solera
obviously.
style. And then we have another mead that'll be bugged for this year.
Wow.
It's a little bit.
That's
it's,
cool.
It's a little bit more controlled Solera because we're not actually leaving liquid in the barrel. What we do is we clean it out. But the nature of bacteria and like lactobacillus and stuff like that is that it'll live in the wood year round. So you just put in raw wort, and then whatever's living in there will naturally ferment it. So we've been essentially cultivating like a little microbiome for the last 7 years
Wild.
in that barrel. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So beer that comes out of that barrel is specific to that barrel.
sure.
That even if you tried to take the same wort and pitch it with a similar yeast, it would not be the same.
Yeah.
Because it's being fermented in the oak with the 7 years of bacteria that's
Well,
sitting in there.
And that sounds really technical, but rest assured, when we get a beer that has a little bit of yeast on the bottom, we'll fucking
Oh, yeah. Dump it
stir
right
it
in the
up and
barrel.
just pop the cork and dump that shit
Yeah.
right in there. So it's a
Yeah.
mix. It's a
Oh, wow.
menagerie, if you will.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you're saying like
Cavalcade.
it's unique to that barrel because of that,
Mhm.
is it just a slightly different like flavor profile? Like how could you tell the difference between a barrel to barrel if it had the
I can tell you for sure that if you were to take a bottle of, let's say, self-deprecation and then a bottle of self-obsession, which are 3 years apart, fermented in different areas in Palmer, blah blah blah, they have a similar note that you can tell it came from that barrel.
like
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would be
They're
kind of
cousins,
curious.
but
I would be
Yeah.
curious.
Kissing cousins. Yeah.
Kissing cousins.
If you like
It
brewed
is the valley.
brewed the same kind of thing in a different barrel or a different vat, and then see
would-
what the difference would be.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would probably taste completely different.
Interesting.
Truthfully,
That's
yeah.
crazy. I've never even heard of that.
Mhm.
Wild.
I think it's time for another question.
All right.
Yeah,
let's do it.
we
We
beat
got to go
that
on this
horse.
one real. Here it is. It's Dave again.
Shut the fuck up. No way. No way.
I wrote the last question while pooping. I'm sitting in a normal chair now, still pants off though. If you had a microphone and it was connected to speakers that would reach the entire world and everyone on Earth in their own language, every single human
Wow, that's a
on
good
the
question.
planet, would hear it, what would you tell them in 30 seconds?
Did you turn the stove off?
That's all you'd say.
That's it.
You're
That's
saving
it?
lives, maybe.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
also, you got like 1 second. You got 29 more seconds, baby.
Check it anyway.
Just silence.
I would say like,
You're like,
No, for real. Go home.
yeah,
Check the
15
stove.
seconds of just silence.
well, I mean, you
stove.
figure out of 7 billion people, a good
Somebody
8
will be
billion.
like, "Oh my god,
God,
I was
he's
gonna say,
right.
That guy
we,
saved
we
my
hit
life.
8 billion, didn't we?
8 billion.
Yeah, we're at 8 billion.
that guy
now.
saved my life." And you know what? I can sleep well.
I would
one
probably
person.
say change your, like CO2 monitors
Socks?
or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like you probably save a lot of people doing that.
You guys
There
are
you
a
go.
lot
but do we want to
nicer
do that?
Yeah,
than what I
Right.
was going to do.
What?
I mean, the classic answer to this is, hello, everyone. This is God.
Stop
Please-
reproducing.
Please take all of your money, or something like, all of your money, donate it to Dave.
Dave.
Well, because I'm Dave in this situation.
Sure.
Hello, my name is.
My pants are
I am
off
God. My name is Dave. Turns out I am a white man.
My Venmo is
My Venmo is this. Send me all your
At
money.
God.
that.
69.
Actually, I mean, there's probably people out there being like, "Yeah, I'll give him $1,000."
Dude, if
$1,000.
you-
You
if
just get
you-
a dollar.
Out
If-
of that many people,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If you
there's going to
all
be
of
that
a
many
sudden
people.
heard a voice in your head say, "My name is God, Venmo me your money," I would be like, "Fuck, I'm not going to risk this." What?
Yeah, you
What's a
have to.
dollar going to do?
You have
What's
to.
a dollar going to
Pascal's
do?
You have
wager
to.
kind of thing right there.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be safe.
$1
Is
a
that-
person? That's
is that
eight-
right? Is that
That's not-
Pascal's
I don't-
wager?
I don't think so.
Where you're like, I'm going to pray to God.
You said it. You said it with conviction. You should have just
Yeah.
leaned into it.
Actually,
know
no,
what?
you are correct. You are correct.
See?
Yeah. It's like
From
the-
Professor
it's like
Stefan. He'll
Yeah.
tell
no.
you.
It's
Fact
it's
checker
like, well,
Yeah.
fuck, if God is real, then
If I'm going down on a plane, I better, ask for forgiveness just in case.
right. That's why I only
Yeah.
eat kosher, just in case the Jewish God is like, that's the one.
Actually, that hits really close to home because Stefan only prays when we get on airplanes.
I do.
Oh.
He
You're not a flyer.
legitimately
Every single
has
time.
a conversation with God before we fly, and then we land.
It's a little
And
dance
then-
God
yeah.
and I do every time.
It's a real thing.
I'm an atheist again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
100%. We
Hey.
land, and I'm like, haha, fucking
Thanks the
idiot.
pilot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then we get back on. He's like, okay, it's me again, God.
Oh, but it's a lot more. I mean, I'm really convicted when we're getting, because I am terrified of flying.
flying?
I
Not a fan.
hate it.
Why?
It's
Why do you
because
feel like
you're in
that?
a fucking tube
No, I
in
mean,
the
I-
sky.
It's funny. I'm the same way.
It's unnatural.
I'm similar.
Man should not fly.
Man should not fly.
Right, we should be in boats
There's no
taking 3 months to cross the Atlantic
There's no
Ocean.
such thing as an atheist in a foxhole or an airplane, right?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
there. That's
I've known a few.
I was
Yeah, I was gonna say.
comes a man
Yeah,
who's
well,
actually been in
been
a
in the
foxhole.
military. Yeah.
They didn't have
Yeah.
foxholes in the desert.
No, we called them fighting holes.
Fighting.
Oh,
holes.
gee, they're
Hey,
different.
there's
'Cause
no
of the
fox-
Marine Corps.
there's no
Yeah,
foxes.
No,
There's a Marine Corps,
I'm
so
a
there's
similar
nobody
way.
hiding.
I don't get like super scared when I get on planes, but it's when all of a sudden there's like too much turbulence.
Oh, dude.
That's the fucking
That's
worst.
my favorite.
And like
Oh,
my
man.
wife started noticing it because we've flown.
It's like a roller coaster in the air.
I like it.
I am not a fan.
You should look up how
Not
many
a
planes
fan.
go down due to turbulence.
I have a.
It doesn't matter
Even if it's zero.
if you're in the
what-
sky and you're just like shaking. Your
What-
body's not working with
Exactly.
logic at that point.
I'm glad Professor Stefan.
I'm
is
right
on
there
my
with
page.
I'm right there with you.
And so I was telling her, I was like, well, I'm like, it's shaking. And I'm like, and so like I'll grab the seat and I'll just be like,
oh yeah, same.
I'll have to meditate for a second. And it's the same way with elevators that go way too high for me. See, because my imagination gets wild and is like, what's
What if
under
the-
us?
What if the tower falls
Nothing.
over?
Sure.
Nothing's under us. And so my brain is just like, literally, there's like
The emergency stops.
10,000 feet.
Well, see, that's
when
the
you're in an
emergency
airplane.
brakes.
Yeah.
There are emergency precautions that are put into
Place.
elevators.
Mhm.
What do you got in the sky? What do you got? What do you got in an
Parachutes.
airplane? A
The pilot.
seat belt? What's that gonna do?
No,
He does one of these.
What? No, you gotta
seat
put your head
cushion.
down.
Your seat cushion, dude.
Cover.
Yeah. Thank God the oxygen
You got
dropped
oxygen.
down. I get to breathe until I burst into flames.
Make you docile like a cow.
I do go to, like you're saying, like a weird place when I'm on a plane though, because I envision that before we take off. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I do too.
I envision going down every time, and then
you
I'm
gotta
like,
be prepared.
well,
sure.
that's a
And
very
like, how am I
stoic-
gonna react?
That's a very stoic.
Am I gonna be
thing
the
to
guy
do.
that's screaming and pissing his pants, or am I gonna be like,
No, you're just like, I
Well-
guess we're going to die now.
yeah? I mean, I feel so
Yeah, I
much
guess.
better if I'm flying solo though, without the family, because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god.
Well, then you die together.
I
Isn't that
agree,
like-
but then like you have to like
console
They're
them
not going to
and-
be as cool about it.
Sure, sure, sure.
Right,
Stefan,
you know.
I gotta ask a question. Are you the kind of guy that when you get in an exit row, like you're like, looking at, okay, I got to take the lever off, I got to take the glass off first,
I gotta pull
and
the
then I'm
lever.
gonna pull it in, and I'm actually not gonna push it out. I'm gonna bring it in, and I'm push it to the side.
You know what? I've never sat in an exit row, so I don't
Oh.
know yet. But I would
'Cause
most definitely.
That's how I am. I'm
Well,
like,
yeah.
okay, I don't know if this, whoever's gonna,
It's gonna-
sit next
I have
to
to
me,
try
I'm
it
in the middle
before.
seat.
I
I'm
try
just
it
like,
before.
I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing.
I also, when I sit in an extra row, I gotta kind of eyeball the other people. Like, are these people actually?
Are these
Because
survivors?
everybody says yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
but
literally
are they
make
really
you say
going-
it.
Yeah.
We're just in it for the extra leg room.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
are you
it.
really, or am I gonna have to like push you out of the way so I can kick this door open?
I know.
Yeah.
Almost 100% you're gonna have.
Right.
to.
Well, I stick
Right.
my head
Even if
between
I'm
the,
not in the exit row.
Yeah,
Like,
I
do I
stick my
gotta
head
come over
between
there
the
and open
chairs.
this
If
and
there's
tell them,
three
"You're
people,
safe
I'm
with
like,
me."
they're children. How? Oh my! I'm
Kids can't sit in there.
Yeah, they can't. I don't think they
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Under
Yes,
18.
I accept the
18-year-old.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So I definitely do that. Also,
pushing you out.
I'm like scared of going down. So it's like a
Yeah.
10-2. It's like
I feel like that'd be the easiest way to go. It's out of your hands. You're just gonna go down. It'd be kind of scary.
I want to be in control of the way I die. As
we know
we've
that.
discussed.
We
as
know.
we've discussed. I am not.
Yeah.
I'm fine with dying. I just don't want it to be out of my hands. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Is that there's no control. It's like I'm fine with a lot of scary situations or like natural, like, oh crap, the wind's crazy or whatever. But earthquakes terrify the shit out of me.
oh
Because you can't run away from an earthquake, man.
Yeah.
You
No.
can't get away from an earthquake.
Yeah, you can get out of your house if you have to.
Yeah, but then you're into the fucking earth.
Oh.
Or the earth that could open
at your
up.
house.
That
the
is
earth
true.
is going to open up into
Yeah.
a maw.
It's a lot
and you're
more-
going to
It
fall
could.
into it.
It could. You can run away from a tornado. You can hide from the wind and rain and things like that. You can't get away. You're standing on the
He's-
goddamn earth.
he's got a point.
I'm just saying.
All right, I got to tell you this story. This will be a nightmare to you because it was
Lovely.
a nightmare. So when we started TikTok, you know how like
Also,
it'll
you're afraid of the wind and the rain.
When it gets bad
Have
enough.
you've lived in Palmer?
Yes, but
It gets windy
But
in
it never
Palmer.
like scared me. I was like, oh no, the roof's gonna fly off.
What?
Oh,
Oh, well.
all right.
there was a TikTok. So when me and Kyle first started TikTok, it was like
Ignorant.
both of us watching. It was like both of us watching. So the algorithm was like, artsy fartsy stuff, and then it was like dark shit.
Oh,
from
and it was
Kyle.
also porno.
Yes.
From Kyle.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle was watching.
Well, let's be easy here.
What?
Yes.
There's a clip.
I'll tell you in a second because
Yeah.
it's resurfaced.
We'll talk about that in a second. Anyway, so all of a sudden I'm like, my feed is just starting to become like darker shit, like FBI stuff, like true serial killers. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, Kyle ruined the algorithm. And so this one thing was like,
He ruined the algorithm.
they got me by saying like, you want to know what the worst thing in the world is? And I was like, you got me. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Clickbait.
So it tells me this story. I can't remember exactly where the location was, but all of a sudden there's a guy in one bedroom, they're sleeping, and then there's a couple in another bedroom across the like house. And all of a sudden the couple wakes up to just screaming and like an earthquake.
Oh, is this the sinkhole? Where
This fucking sinkhole, dude.
I saw
the guy
that. Oh,
was asleep and he just fucking sank
Yep.
into the ground with all of his belongings, and then that's it.
And it was like hundreds of feet deep. Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
then the cops were there, and they were like, "Well, like he could still be
That's
alive, but
nature's
we can't,
elevator.
We can't go down.
No brakes. No brakes, no stoppers at the bottom.
So
Going
yeah,
down.
that's fucking. I was
all
like,
the way
saw
down.
well,
that.
I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of sinkholes, but now I am.
Now I
so
am,
was
yeah.
like, that's enough for that account.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that algorithm.
I thought you were going to talk about the ones that I've stumbled across are the people that go basically cave crawling.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Into
too.
like
Oh,
the smallest.
Oh my
spelunking?
God.
Sort of. Into
The
the
descent?
smallest.
No, but where they're like,
No, they are-
where they're
they are
like holding their breath
yes.
and letting it out
No.
to get into
Yeah,
smaller
They're
areas.
scooting into
What
caves.
is wrong with people?
And then they
I
get
don't know.
stuck.
What is?
I feel like there's a sickness.
That's your
like,
fault.
What, right. And then the story is
100%.
the one guy went into, and it was like an L, and he
Yep.
got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't get out, right? And so they had to. He was
Bummer.
stuck in there for
Dude.
like 12 hours.
I'm kind of freaking out.
I know,
right now.
it
I'm, like,
makes
just
me freak out.
Putting into that moment.
Didn't
So
they?
they had to crawl in there and basically inject his
Inject him,
legs
yep.
to make his heart stop eventually.
with morphine to calm him down.
Yep.
Until
And then he
died.
died.
Yeah.
So he died. Yeah.
And then they sealed it up. It was like the
yeah.
called-
No,
He's
that's
still
your
down
fault.
there.
I mean,
That
100%.
is 100% your fault.
Like if
No
you're doing
sympathy.
something crazy like that, you know the risk.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Sure.
like skydiving, you know that your parachute might not open. Like, but you
Not stoked about that.
was that a
We're
perfect
hoping-
segue, Stephen?
We're gonna
I'm on top of the segue.
You are
game
killing it
today.
right now.
Thank
The
you.
next videos, you guys.
We're trying to, we're working with some people trying to do skydiving for our next video.
And Stefan, I'm assuming is
Well,
not.
we have to go. We have to go
I'm
baby
again-
Bjorn style.
Yeah.
because neither of us are trained.
Yeah, you both have to go attached.
Yeah, so we got to go tandem. And
I don't know
so
why everybody
he
thinks
has
they just get to
no
go solo their
control.
first time.
I'm gonna go jump out of a plane.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to the control thing. He's not in charge of it.
No, I'm not.
And
Well,
so
that-
he's just baby Bjorning on the
You
front
keep
of this
saying
dude.
that, and I don't know what that means.
Baby Bjorn, when
like-
you got a baby pouch in the front.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
on
that's
the front.
called.
A
Yeah.
baby Bjorn is
Yeah.
Is the
patented
device?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
So you're
that.
going to
Kinda
be
hangover.
attached to somebody, and I'm going to be attached to somebody, and
Can you flip around? Do you have to do
We're
back back to front?
I hope we're going back to front. I need to see my
no, just-
death coming towards me.
face to face. We're just like flying on our backs. Just
Are we doing hole to hole or pole to pole?
Yeah.
What do we got here?
Nut to butt, boys. Nut to
it's
butt.
hole to
Yeah.
pole.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to jump out of a plane next month.
That would be
For a
pretty
video.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
video.
Because in
Yeah.
Palmer they do
I gotta
that
do
a bunch,
stuff for
right?
content.
They do, yeah.
Have you ever done that? Oh, you.
No,
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 you
no,
never
no,
did it?
no. People have this sweeping understanding of the military. Like all of us have like jumped out of planes and ridden
Yeah.
on boats. No, man, I blew shit up and had some shots and things. Firefights
Had some
and whatnot.
what?
I was drinking
Had
a
some
lot.
what?
Yeah.
was that about?
Shooting at people.
I just
yeah. Okay.
drank some Jameson.
Right.
I was gonna say,
But I never jumped out of an airplane. I flew under,
Interesting.
like, was hooked up by a helicopter and flew around and all that. But no,
Okay.
my military experience was basically 2 combat tours in Iraq, and there was no jumping. It was just riding around on trucks, shooting people.
Wow. Still badass.
Wild.
Classic.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 20s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
my 20s were pretty similar too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I killed a
I
couple
was
people.
shooting I was shooting up stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus. What about another question?
Can we before
Yeah.
we move on to
Oh, yeah,
another
yeah.
question?
Go.
You had a porn situation.
Let me be clear.
Thank you for keeping us on track.
Yeah, I just really
I
want to
have
know
problems.
about you
No.
jerking off on TikTok.
No, so
situation.
what happened, and I'm not afraid to be open about this because this is truly what happened. Is
you
I was watching
porn
No. It
secret porn.
secret
Secret
hidden
porn.
hidden
Secret
porn.
porn thirst trap videos.
No,
Yes.
it was
Sort
yes
of.
and no.
Yes, sort
so
of.
the story was that
It's a
I told
very
people.
Virgo
No.
Classic.
I'm watching a screen, music starts playing,
Uh-huh.
and it's like I think it was like a living room with like doors open, kind of dark, and I'm staring at it for a while.
Sure.
And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, is this going to be a jump scare? Is this going to be something like that?
I'm
so then it
stuck.
loops
I'm stuck, step brother.
again. That would have been a little easier to decipher.
Sorry.
So it loops like 3 times, and I'm like, okay. And so go to the next one. And then like 2 videos later, whatever, another similar, same music, same kind of like room.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm looping it. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, is this a new trend? And then I look over, and I think it was the left-hand side. Just barely on screen was this nipple comes out. And I was like, wait a second. And so, of course, I watched it again, and I'm like, getting really close, and I'm like, no, that's a nipple. That's a nipple. So I go back
No way.
I go back 2 videos, and I look in the corner.
His algorithm. I don't know.
Sure enough,
I don't know.
nipple, like a boob, like somebody just going like this. And then I got stuck in it.
There we go.
Couple videos later.
TikTok content for us.
A couple videos later, same
Stick your
thing.
nipple.
Yeah. And then there would be ones where there would be plants, and a girl would like walk by the plant, and there'd be an opening in like the leaf,
And then
and
just-
she would have her like shirt on, and then it would be nipple, and then come back out, and the shirt would be on. And so the people were like
So
finding
he's
ways
deep
of.
diving into all of these videos.
got-
I am
These
not.
people need to be held
Did we-
accountable.
Did you ever figure out what that trend was called?
I didn't. It was called like
Nip slip.
No,
Yeah.
it was.
Well, but like what?
I was saying we could come up
It's
with a
so
name
it's
for
everybody finding ways to show nudity without getting caught by
Oh.
this whatever kind of
Sure,
album
but so
sensor.
I'm just so confused. So like,
like, what do I?
And so then it
someone
cares
Tell me more. How do I look this
Yeah.
up?
Oh my
What is
God, that
this
sounds
called?
gross. Where?
That's
the classic. It's
disgusting.
always
Send
sunny.
me
Yeah,
the
yeah.
link.
Oh my God, where?
Yeah, it's It's
Where
always
did
sunny
you see
clip.
that?
And so the other ones that would pop up were like sinks with chrome that you could see the reflection, and so people would like rub it like they're cleaning it, and then when they pull it back, you could see like the reflection of somebody topless in it.
Sure. Yeah,
But like very
you do.
kind of like distorted.
Yeah.
And so obviously research had to be done. Where did this originate? What lab came up with this? So
Probably Russia.
Yeah.
It's like,
but then it was like stuck on that. Like it kept
Right.
popping
So
up.
all of his videos are these nipple videos.
no, but okay, but can we just
For
take
why?
a second? Like, what? So someone's like, you know what? I like
I think it was all
just a nipple.
I think it was
That's it.
targeting market to send them to their OnlyFans. That's what I think it was.
Okay.
Like you
See,
you saw
that
a nipple.
context
I'm going to
makes me
send you
feel
to
better.
where you can like
I
pay
just-
for more nudity.
I thought I was missing out on this
You
whole
like
like
one? You could see
sexuality.
you can
It's
see
like-
both.
you
Yeah.
can see
Or
both.
3. I don't know. I don't know if people have
God,
anymore.
that's just wild, man.
But I was
That's
like, the
wild.
marketing is so it's the Wild West out
Someone
there.
So
You
it
can do
knocked
whatever.
his algorithm
Someone
all
was
out of
thinking
whack.
about it. Someone was thinking about it, and it was just like, this is a golden idea.
Yeah, I told my wife about it because I didn't want her to like be watching
Does
over
she
my
do
shoulder.
those kind of videos?
No. I've been trying to talk her
Are you
into
trying
it.
to talk her into it?
Like you really don't even have to show much. To
You
be
don't even show your
honest.
face. You can do it on my fucking
We
profile.
could do a switcheroo. Yeah, we'll do the switcheroo where I stick my nipple out. Okay? Your face, my nipple.
and then once every 10 videos,
Yeah.
it's a woman's nipple.
Yeah, I don't even know.
That woman, you.
I'll just shave one, shave one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So,
Nipple, dick, pussy, butthole.
yeah,
Yes.
that's the order you go.
Nipple,
for
dick,
texting.
classic workaholics quote.
Yeah.
I
Workaholics.
love that.
Nipple, dick, pussy, well. Yeah.
So what did you get? What did you get? You got a nipple? Well, it's dick.
You
pussy.
better. What does he say? He says something about like you better pump that thing up. You gotta take a picture of it.
Yeah.
You gotta fluff that
You gotta
thing
get
up
that
or
thing
something.
going. Yeah. Fuck. That's a classic.
That is a classic.
All right, what's
Sorry.
what's
No,
the
no.
other
let's-
question?
We had to
Next
deal
question.
No,
with.
that was funny.
We had to
By
deal
the
with
way,
porn.
Have we noticed that Kyle's almost completely eaten that whole?
Good for him,
You're
dude.
just going for it.
You know what?
Do you not get treats at home?
Well, it's because
I
he's
try
not
not
drinking
to.
his beer.
no.
Yeah, he's eating, he's not drinking.
Yeah.
No.
Is it?
I'm trying to pair 'em.
Logos out, you
I
son
see.
of a bitch.
No, we actually, so the first time we talked about that nipple slip video thing, we actually made it a clip and
I
put it on
see.
our social media.
I know.
so people
That's
know
how I
about it.
saw it.
Yeah.
That's
And
how. Oh, okay.
I think this way, actually, Kyle is his presentation. You're getting better at telling the story.
I'm really hoping
So,
that they'll pick that
You're
up
honing
and
it in.
throw
Yeah.
it back into my
So
algorithm.
maybe we should make that a clip again. You know,
I think it's a great idea.
100%.
every time he tells a story, it's just going to get better and better.
I
and
think
better.
our reation to it is the best part of the video. So make sure.
Yeah, make
we're
sure it's
in-
their
Yeah.
faces. I'd actually like my name to not be associated with the clip, to be honest.
I mean, as long as I get to see nipples.
It's just your face blurred out. And
blur it
then,
out and change my voice.
Yeah, it's just like an octave.
porn.
I saw a nipple.
I saw this one is a fitting name for what we were just talking about. I think.
We gotta get that sound.
Oh, okay, very nice.
That,
Asthma.
that sounded good.
That wasn't too bad.
What's this one called?
What is this?
This is
Spicy.
Tropics.
Oh, that was not the one I
Seltzer
saw.
Mosa.
Oh.
So, little shameless self plug here. Every Sunday we do brunch at the brewery from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. And we do
Because
fucking
yeah,
straight up.
Yeah,
8 p.m.
Because if
Fuck
you
yeah,
wake
dude.
up at 3 in the afternoon, fuck those early brunch people.
Yeah.
Come get
Fuck
brunch.
those
at
guys.
Thank you.
3 o'clock
Thank
in the
you.
afternoon.
You're
I don't even leave
You're
the
no
house
better
until
than the
Very angry
church
about
people. You're no better
You
than
fuckers.
church families getting brunch.
Yeah. You're still hungover
You're no
by
worse
noon.
than them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still hungover the whole day.
They're
You're
not
just-
better than you.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you want some goddamn corned beef and hash, and
Oh,
in
you
this
guys
case,
have corned beef and hash?
yeah, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Every
Slappy.
Sunday?
One of my
Every
favorites.
Sunday.
Oh my God. We should
Every
go
Sunday,
out.
10 to 8, and we have seltzer mimosas, so we can't serve champagne, obviously, yet. But we do seltzer, 8% seltzer mimosas with juice that we get from 203 Kombucha. They do cold pressed juice.
No way.
Yep. And so this one is a
That's
pineapple jalapeno seltzer mimosa.
Oh,
that I
so
brought
what's
for you today.
What was with the champagne thing? You can't.
We can't do it yet because
Licensing.
I just haven't made any.
If we made champagne.
Gotcha. Which I can, but it's just like, who's got the fucking time,
Not you guys. You guys
No.
are doing too much. You're
We're
starting
here.
to-
We're here
starting to
having
TikTok,
a podcast,
Well, that's what I mean. It's like
being on podcasts,
being on podcasts,
making videos.
just on a random note, like, how do you guys balance, like, obviously we try to do videos and all that stuff, but we feel like that's kind of what we do. You guys' main thing is obviously beer,
Right.
but then at the same time, you got to find time for marketing and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, so is it a lot of during work hours or is it like post hours that you guys are focusing on marketing?
Most of it is Zach doing it during work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of your job.
well, no, I mean, because I have a job.
Right.
And this is the job. So I still teach high school, and I've been teaching for about 10 years on contract.
Some of the
15
juice fell to
years
the bottom.
into the game. And so while kids are taking tests, while we're doing prep hours, while I'm on prep, I mean, my lunch break, I'm
I can
busy.
smell it.
Oh, that is.
There's a little bit more juice in the bottom of that. If you want to throw it in it'll just give you a little
I
more
can
juice.
smell.
Yeah, shout out to
the
203. They
spice.
make incredible juice. It's my buddy Marcus. He's the juice boy over there.
Oh man, that's
He's
amazing.
the juicer.
He's the juicer.
I feel like that's the worst title to have.
He's the
Or
the juice.
Or the best.
So-
He squeezes out all the.
But yeah,
juice.
that's,
Oh, I
I
love
mean,
this.
it's all happening while
Cheers,
I'm
everyone.
working.
We don't have to do this every
Yeah,
time.
we just got to look each other in the eye very closely. Oh,
It's just like so stretchy.
I know.
Cheers.
We need a smaller table.
Oh yeah. Cheers.
There it
Cheers,
is.
camera.
There it is.
Oh wait, hold on. Make sure it's out.
Logo's out,
There
you
it's out.
son of a bitch.
Yeah. So this is
Laces
pineapple.
out.
Bleeding
Damn.
Heart.
That's it.
Pineapple jalapeno.
Ooh, I can smell that. I'm going to start sweating more.
Yeah, it is hot in here.
It is very
It's
hot
delicious
in here.
though.
I feel good.
I wore
Isn't that killer?
shorts.
It's
and,
very delicious.
my
I did the
face is so
sauna
sweaty.
earlier, so I already got super hot and sweaty.
All right, so what's
I mean, that's part of the deal.
what's the next question there, Kyle?
And so during school, when these kids
Oh
are,
yeah.
I like
no,
it.
that's-
I like it.
that's- Yeah, that's. I mean, kids are taking tests, and I'm answering emails or texting him, or
Yeah. Well, and then as far as like the like videos and this sort of thing goes, a lot of times we'll have Logan with Nomad show up at the brewery like while I'm brewing, and I'm just like, hey, I gotta run home real quick and shower, and Zach's just getting off of school, so we're
Right.
like,
Let's go.
yeah, it's like fucking okay, here we
Oh,
go.
wow.
Now we're gonna film a video where we eat hot wings and want to kill ourselves.
Damn scheduling.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
yeah, it's just all at once, all the time.
Yeah, people talk a lot about this like work-life balance.
Balance?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't
Never
exist
fucking heard
very
of it.
well.
What is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
When you live, as a wage slave in capitalist America, there's really not a lot of break time.
No.
I feel you. I feel you.
That's the sound clip right there.
Yeah.
I feel
Wage
you.
slave.
Sounded
feel
so sad. So sad.
Only for who knows how long. This will be a two-parter. The
boy.
first one I only say this
Is it
'cause
Dave again?
no
Poor
name on this
Jason.
one. Is Zach ever going to quit teaching?
Ah,
Oh.
great
When is
question.
this? Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
No.
Okay. And second part, this is from Alex B. What are the best and worst things about being in Alaska when it comes to your respective fields?
Oh wow.
So that's more of a thoughtful one, less
Yeah.
dick joke.
Say the second one again.
What are the best and worst things about being in Alaska when it comes to your respective field?
Oh, that's
That,
really.
that includes you
with-
guys too.
yeah,
yeah.
well,
Thanks.
we'll say the-
Thanks.
Alex B.
We'll use
Alex
the
P.
podcast as our field.
I wonder. I know an Alex P. I wonder who it is. Anyway,
Bergstrom?
Great.
Borgsteimer.
Borgstein?
Great question. Okay, so
probably
it's the guy I'm
Brown.
thinking of.
It's probably Brown.
Yeah.
the first one.
I will answer the first one. Since this is going to be playing
weeks
here in
out.
a few weeks out,
Mm-hmm.
school gets out in a couple of weeks. This is my last year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a go fix yourself exclusive
You are
here,
getting an
ladies and
exclusive.
gentlemen.
Yeah, I haven't told my students. I've only told a handful of people that
How many
I'm going
years?
to take. I've done 10 in the game, 15 in the game, 10 on contract.
Wow.
But because
wow.
I'm tier 3, I'd have to do 30 years to even retire, and I got 20 more years left on this body. So I figure I might as well
Call
get out. and
it
do
quits.
Yeah, call it
Hell
out. Yeah. So
Cheers to that.
Before you pull
no.
up to Stefan on the highway. And he's actually in the passenger seat while this happens.
Yeah, he's just driving really badly, and I'm just like, I can't handle this anymore. Look at me in the eye.
on the way to
Stefan,
Seward.
Could you let me out of the back seat before you do this?
So yeah, I'm gonna take a year leave of absence at least, and then I can take up to 2, and that holds my spot, and so I can have a golden parachute just in case.
Mhm.
I can be like, hey, I want
nice.
to teach again, and then I can come back in. But the point is that I can finally just stop with fractured time and just focus wholeheartedly on everything that I already do for the brewery and not have to do it while kids are testing and while, while I'm on lunch break and in the morning, and I can actually
be a lot more intentional.
focus on things.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's powerful.
That's the plan.
Hell yeah, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, you are.
That's
This
great.
is the first public
announcement.
Yeah.
You ever had a kid step up to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
but I mean,
Like they're that dumb?
Yeah, I was the same. Man.
I mean,
What grade? What grade are
Are you
you?
gonna tell them about the?
Which one? The kid I punched?
Name the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I punched a kid one time, but it was an accident.
Go back to the beginning of this episode.
not
Yeah, it had to say.
I would have said it's
Go
an
all
accident.
the way back.
Yeah. Throwback.
Kyle, we might get canceled on this episode.
A kid jumped out at me around the corner, and I just punched him in the face.
Oh, well,
That's
on him.
That's what I
That's
said.
on him.
I mean,
Yeah.
for real though, like, hey, let me jump scare the guy with
Yeah.
PTSD. Like,
Yeah.
are
So-
you fucking
Did,
kidding
did
me?
you
Like,
kill him though?
No, I
Yeah.
dropped him.
Okay,
And
'cause then
I
dropped him.
he kind of laughed.
This clip is called
we all laughed later.
Teacher punches student to death.
This is the viral clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm BP Teacher of the Year. Also, like
I got some pictures to show you guys.
Yeah.
I've got all kinds of like accolades, and then I punched that one kid.
But the best, for me, the best part is that your principal was just like, that's fine. Of course you did that.
Ian deserved
He
it.
deserved it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. He was like, hey man, I was like, hey, I don't know what to do here. Like, I just punched a kid in the face. He was like, well, what happened?
When
was
he
like,
wakes
well,
up, I could be in
exactly
trouble.
what you want to hear from a teacher.
He was like, well, what happened? I told him, and he was like, who was it? And I was like, Adrian. And he was like, oh, he deserves it. And I was like, okay, cool,
my
great.
God.
Glad we agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean,
So
I'm cool.
great.
so
Yeah.
I go back to class. Like I shouldn't like pack up my things and go.
And you and the kid are still cool.
Yeah,
right?
he ended up joining the Marines and like texts me all the time.
Oh, you
yeah.
were like his.
So you gave him brain
okay.
damage.
So clearly. Now he eats crayons and worships Chesty Puller. Yeah. Like all good Marines.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Good Lord.
And how old was he roughly? Because
He was a freshman.
that's
He
what
was
I
14.
Oh wow.
like.
and
I think
I
about some of those videos.
Dropped him.
I know. I think about kids these days,
God,
like
that is funny.
getting in teachers' faces. I'm like, there's certain teachers you probably shouldn't do that to because they're, they got a side biz that they're just waiting
Here, I'm going to
do
go out on
full-time.
a limb and say you shouldn't do that to any teachers.
I
Right.
agree.
You shouldn't be hitting or harassing teachers at all.
But I mean, obviously, kids are trying to
But if
size
you-
up somebody and be
Sure.
like, can I intimidate?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be high on my list to do that to.
Right.
No.
I would do it to like
no,
a
I look at the
old
muscles
woman.
and I'm like, probably not.
those are all glamour anyway.
If you guys ever make
Thighs
a,
and tries.
Yeah.
if you guys ever make a
Head chest.
TV
chest.
show, if you ever make a TV show about like your life or your like, two guys coming together and starting a brewery, I could see it happen. You got to add that in. You got it's
Punching a
like the
kid?
first. You got
Yeah.
first episode. It's just like sets the tone.
It
off
reminds
right.
me of
yeah.
The Campaign, that movie where Will Ferrell
yeah.
punches the
Yes.
baby.
I just
Yeah.
recently rewatched
Yeah.
that movie.
The baby
Yeah.
like comes comes with the baby
Slow-mo.
and he's going to swing and it's slow.
What a
That's all what happened in my head.
I'm sure.
Like I threw that punch and was just like, oh no.
I'm done.
No. And tried to like pull it back, but it was train left
Too
station.
late. Too late.
Okay, to switch to a more serious. Well, it
yeah.
doesn't
What
even
was
have
that
to be serious.
second parter?
yeah.
Best and worst things about being in Alaska with our perspective fields, essentially. Alex B. Borg's.
Oh, B. I thought it was P.
bourgeois.
Bourgeoisie.
I do know an Alex B too, and I bet you I know who it is.
Alex Bourdain.
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Oh. Why don't you guys start this one off?
Okay. All right.
You know,
Do you want to talk about like separately or just
I mean,
like
yeah.
together?
could.
I think let's do it together because I think it's like you
I
guys
think like the podcast.
Yes.
Like essentially that's how we're kind
that's
of.
what I was thinking.
Sure.
Yeah. I think the best thing is that like, and I've said this before on the podcast, is like you do some new stuff, right? You can stand out very well and very quickly in Alaska. So when like we were joking and I was telling you guys before the podcast was recording, I was like, we're the fastest rising podcast. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no
Prove
fact
it.
checking.
Prove otherwise.
But also
Prove
at
not.
the same time, like we have grown exponentially in the last year or so. And so it's like I think if we were like in Seattle in California, and I always say this, like I
It'd
don't think
one
we'd
of
able
a
to
million.
like jump
Drop
to
in a bucket.
Yeah, I think we'd still be at
Two
like,
white guys with a podcast.
Wow, groundbreaking.
Wow. Exactly. So
But we have people on that are interesting.
it's all about the people.
Yeah.
There's one guy who was like, "You guys should just do it yourself again. Stop having guests on." And what was his name on
I
our
saw
reviews?
that. I
Harvey
saw that.
Butthole.
Harvey Buttlicker. I think.
Buttlicker.
It was that
Yeah,
review
yeah.
that you guys posted or whatever. Yeah, that
so
was
gold.
He's on to something though. You know?
He is.
I don't know about that.
So yeah, that's the best thing I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
about
there's
starting a podcast.
the worst part, I guess, is that one day we do feel like there's a limit of Alaskans we can have on.
Yeah.
Once
There's a
we go through
ceiling.
the ringer
Yeah.
of everybody that's doing some. I mean, granted, there's still hundreds, if not thousands, of people we haven't seen, but at some point, like I think people want to see like bigger and like we'll
Yeah.
never have, like
Yeah.
a movie star on.
Well, you don't know that.
Well,
I mean, it's
I mean,
true.
I starred in a
This
couple
guy,
of movies.
not dreaming big.
okay, here we
He's not
go.
a big dreamer.
We already got
Manifest.
our movie star on
Manifest.
twice.
Yeah, that's true.
2 times.
I just mean
movie
like
star.
that. I mean, that's like not our goal though, is to like get like famous. Like it's
Sure.
to have like good conversations, right? And if they happen to be famous, great. Whatever.
Maybe we differ a little bit on that. I'm just kidding.
He just goes for the gusto.
No, I think you're right. But I also think it's like, our location, I guess in my head is a great thing. It can be used as
Yeah, it's a good and a bad. Just like probably
but
with the
also
brewery.
it can be a bad thing. Whereas there are only, I would say there's 10 to 20 podcasts that come to mind right now that are in Alaska, that are within the 100-mile radius of where we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that it's, easier to start out because like in Seattle, it could be like 1 million podcasts, right? So it's a little bit different, but then as like, there is only so much content you can do until you hit that ceiling.
For sure.
So there's definitely a ceiling. So maybe that's the good and the bad.
You also probably don't get as much viewership because of that too, because of the population.
Nobody gives a fuck.
That's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
The truth hurts. Whatever.
All right.
10,
all right.
10 downloads. And
Yeah.
10
We're hoping this
Yeah.
one breaks
Download.
double digits.
10 whole downloads.
We're trying to go for 20 in this one.
Man, that would be great, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
I will say, I talked to Chad today
Chad.
and asked him if you had reached out, Chad Carpenter,
Oh yeah,
Tundra Comic.
and he said no.
I texted him.
Okay, well,
I actually have the text
he's
to
a
prove
boomer. You have to call him like a human being.
Ah, see.
But he said 100% he would do your podcast.
Okay, well that's cool.
Tundra
Comics.
Tundra
You heard it here
Comics.
first.
Tundra
Yeah,
here we go.
so you need to call him.
Okay,
That's the break.
That's another
I
bite.
do.
Yeah.
That is
And,
the thing.
and you
admit.
have an in. Like I can like
I know.
we can make
I
this
wrote-
happen,
I
but you need to
fashioned-
call
I vouch for you in
I
front of Todd
fashioned
out
Tucker.
of a bit.
Now it's on
fashioned
record.
out a text on my notes app just first, like me edited or whatever, and then I copied and pasted it, and then I didn't hear.
That's a
but
lot
I
of
also
thought.
didn't want to be like. There's a couple people who have just been like, I've sent them a well thought out message, like I love what you do.
There's
We'd love
been
to
a
have you on the
couple of
podcast.
those we've had. Which
Red.
is surprising.
And so I was just like, well, maybe he's just I read it. I don't want to do it.
Really?
That's. I mean, we've. There's a few people.
No.
We
Yeah.
finally gotten some
Talked to him
no's.
today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that a step up? You think?
I think that's like good.
yeah,
because I feel
they're
like
acknowledging you.
they either looked into us and they're like too immature.
Wait, who
or
said no?
people
I'm
that,
just kidding. We don't
yeah,
have to say
I was gonna say
Let's
the
blast
people
them right
that
now.
I'm just kidding.
I don't want to say
The folks that we filled the spot for.
Yeah.
we're cycling back through, but no, there are. I mean, you feel like if somebody says no, they either just don't like what you're doing,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is fine.
Go
Completely-
fix yourself is also can be a turn off for some
Yeah,
people. So
sure.
we we want to have like Lisa Murkowski or Mary Peltola or freaking Sarah Palin,
Somebody
right?
that's
And it's like the politicians are like, go fix yourself.
what's it about?
Right.
Right.
Well,
There's like a little turn off there in a minute.
4 dick jokes an episode. Kyle's got a
Minimum.
porn problem on TikTok. So,
Hidden porn.
are you interested?
Secret porn.
Yeah.
Hidden
He's
porn.
into
Yeah.
some weird shit.
Puzzle porn.
It's a Virgo
Puzzle
thing.
porn.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Look
don't
for
know.
the nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Find
it's
the
pretty
nipple.
fun.
Okay, so
Yeah. What about you guys?
Good and worse. The
good
best
and the bad.
worst about starting a brewery, be in business for yourself.
I think I actually answered this question recently to someone else, not even like in a media format, but it was some guy in Fairbanks asked us this question.
Oh, the guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
guy.
who would not stop talking
Yep.
to me.
Yeah.
Dave? Was it Dave?
It was Dave.
Dave strikes.
I
again.
think that kind of a similar answer. The best part about having a brewery in Alaska is the community, I think. I think that we still are so small as a state and even as like subgroups of, like the Valley and Anchorage and whatever. That it's almost this old world style, like I live in Palmer and I go to Bleeding Heart Brewery, or I live in Wasilla and I go to Bear Paw River. Like that's my watering hole,
Those are my guys.
Yeah, and so that loyalty, that like support that you get from the people here, whereas like you said, if you had a podcast in Seattle or LA or something like that, there's like a fucking million of them.
Yeah. Same with brewery, I would imagine too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, I go to 1,000 different breweries every week, and they're all the same to me. You know what I mean?
We've always said that we're a brewery built by a community.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like that's what
we say about our podcast, right, Kyle?
Podcast
built by
starting
a
today.
Yeah, we are a brewery built by a community.
Yes,
and
100%.
that's been since day one.
Sure.
Without our community, we would not exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think another great thing about
Amen.
a brewery in the state of Alaska is one thing that people overlook constantly is how much talent there is in this state.
Oh,
Not just in the brewing
Per capita,
community,
just in
in
general.
the general. Like you go anywhere else in the lower 48 and it's like, man, this is hit or miss here. This food is not great here and there and whatever. And honestly, the bad breweries in Alaska are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Know?
Don't we have like the most millionaires per capita?
Oh, I don't know that.
State of Alaska.
I think you're right. It's something
Do
like
we
that.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wow.
It's it's something to do
Well,
with
because we just have
close
so much oil money,
Oh,
a lot of oil money,
sure.
and then
and a small population.
small
Right,
population. So
Yeah. And if I'm wrong, we'll cut it.
Again, prove it. Prove it.
Fact check.
Prove it.
Fact
Prove
check.
it. Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
have a
There's
fact
no way
checker.
to know.
Matt, you want to quickly Google that?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Google
so
it.
I think that would be the best. I don't know if there really is I guess the worst is shipping.
Yeah.
Shipping
sure.
is
Yeah.
awful
Yeah.
up here, man.
That's
I would
always
For
imagine.
everything.
That will
Yeah.
be a nightmare for a long
It's
time.
terrible.
And
Yeah.
it has quadrupled.
Yeah.
As in the last couple of years.
Since we started, it's 4 times more expensive to ship
Yeah,
grain
because
up.
Shipping
It's
a
not like you
glass
can go to-
bottle.
Well, but also
Oh,
like
Or are
these-
you talking about here or
Anything.
out?
Anything. Oh
Yeah.
no,
Everything
to here.
Oh,
Everything,
yeah,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
here.
I was gonna say shipping stuff out.
It's
would
probably
be-
just as bad.
well, even like getting the giant, I don't even know what you call them, boilers,
Fermenters.
fermenters. Like even getting them
the
here,
boilers.
What?
Hey, don't hate him.
the
He doesn't
pots.
know. Yeah,
I don't
The
brew
pots and
beer.
pans.
big pots.
You know,
Um,
the big old
accurate.
drum
the
of
big
things.
metal things that you guys have in your
The
brewery.
perpetual boiler.
Yes.
yeah.
Now,
Good
explain to
circle.
me what that
But
means.
I would
Perpetual
imagine
fermentation.
that there's a lot of
tools.
logistics that have got to go to get those things up here.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it's like you can't just like fucking buy those on Amazon. So I would imagine it's just worse because,
After we ordered and designed our brewery that we currently have right now, we were like, oh yeah, we paid for everything. And then we're like, okay, how are you going to pay for the shipping? And we were just like, oh no.
Isn't my order over $99? It should be free.
I don't know if you've heard of this, but I'm Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Is there
part of
something
an
we can do here?
exclusive
I don't get
membership.
ads.
Yeah.
It was, I think after we paid for everything, it was another 15 grand just to get it to
Get
our
it
place.
to our place.
That's,
Oh my
that's
God.
not to install. That's nothing. That's just to go from the factory to Alaska.
Are you guys doing okay financially?
Huh?
Hey, I hear it's going to be a big year this year. Here at 2023, this year is the year.
I said we were circling the drain right out of the gate.
I was gonna say Stefan's looking. He's gonna be circling the highway tonight,
Right,
just
right.
looking for something
We drove separate. We drove separate.
on
All right.
purpose.
Yeah. We drive
Because-
separate most places now.
Zach's like, I know we're getting close to that moment.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
My
can't
wife
call
knows
that
not
an
to expect
accident.
me before midnight.
Yeah, a big life insurance
I
policy.
take a stop at each bar on the way. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I?
We'll
Like me
never.
stopping to get gas every way.
We'll never know.
Oh my
that's
God.
right. Yeah.
Good.
Oh.
Call
Good
back.
Cyan. Oh wow. Yeah.
That's
You're gonna have
tasting
to.
I do have
Gasoline.
to get gas on the way home, but it's completely unrelated.
I'm gonna be shocked if my car starts before we leave this place.
Well,
Mine-
we'll make sure that
Mine's on its way out.
we'll make sure that you get home safe.
Not with me.
Or I'll sleep here.
It just depends on how
Zach,
angry.
don't leave.
It's warm.
Stefan Scar. Oh shit, he's gone.
Yeah.
You can stay at my house, I guess.
It's pretty warm in here right now.
No, I'll just sit right here.
Well, we knew it was.
Like a little kitty
we
cat.
prepared ourselves for it.
I know. I prepared. So here's a couple quick fires.
Oh,
We'll
Here
do
we
this
go.
just
All right.
because there's actually a few. Would you ever do a non-alcoholic beverage from Ralph?
We've talked with
Ralph.
Ralph about it.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'll
what
let you take that.
This is Ralph Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah.
Sarah.
He didn't specify. It just says Ralph.
It is
so.
Ralph. He's talked to me about it.
I know
We
who you're
haven't
talking
been
about.
able to coordinate it just because we've been busy with other stuff. But we do non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
For
It's a big industry now.
it is, and it's not huge as far as like people buying non-alcoholic beverages when they come to the brewery. Like that's just not huge for us. Because we don't can and do stuff like that yet. But no, for those of you that don't drink alcohol, come by. We always have at least 3 different things on tap that are non-alcoholic.
Like what are those 3 things?
For sure, a root beer.
Okay.
I'm testing out like a non-caffeinated, low sweetener Arnold Palmer for the summer.
Arnie Balmy.
Arnie Palmy, which is going to be also carbonated, so like nice and fizzy and stuff like that. And then we always have kombucha. We always have, again, shout out to 203. We always have 203 kombucha on tap.
Gotcha.
Which you should get 203 on.
Yeah, why the fuck are you getting
Yeah,
Dave? Oh, is that the
don't know him.
Dave? Is that the
Oh.
Dave?
I don't know. I don't know him.
Dave, I hope
Yeah,
you
you
wash
gotta
your
get
hands.
Literally, the people that have been on our podcast, I've either met or Kyle's met once or more, or we know they're in our circle.
Yeah,
I'll send
David's
you-
good people.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Give
I'll
us
I'll
Dave.
send you David's
Give him-
contact.
I guess Ed Washington comes to mind. I didn't know him. I guess I met him once. So
I
there's
never
a
met
few
him.
people that are on that
Who?
line. Ed Washington.
musician.
Look up his music, dude.
You'll
You'll do
like it.
yourself a favor.
Did it just come out recently?
He's playing
last month.
Sundown.
He's playing Sundown, but
no,
he's
I mean
also
the other
your
podcast
podcast.
you guys did with him.
Oh,
No, a while ago.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
while
okay.
ago.
Then I guess
Couple months ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But yeah, he's got new music out. I would say it's R&B, soul. He also produced
No, I did see. I
of
saw some
Medium
clips
Build's.
of you guys.
He produced some of Medium Build
Yes.
stuff. And
I am
yeah.
very excited about Medium Build coming
Yeah.
to the Ale House.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I'm excited about
17th.
Medium Build in general, dude.
Right.
Just like
But I can't wait to go see him live.
Yeah.
Have you never
guys-
seen him?
No, I've been following him for years.
Oh,
Dude, I have tickets to
Try being a better
2
fan.
nights.
Wow.
Because he's going to Hope. He's playing at what's that? Clearwater Creek, whatever the
Credence.
yeah.
Hope the Hope bar out there. And he's playing that 2 nights in a row. Credence Clearwater.
Have you-
Maybe you've heard of it. I don't know.
Do you guys? This is we're going down the medium build rabbit trail here, but have you guys ever gone to McCarthy?
Not
And
yet.
I might be going back in a couple weeks actually.
So McCarthy for 4th of July, he played all weekend last year,
Really?
and he's going to play there this year as well.
No way.
And him and his buddies just do like
oh man, that does sound fun.
basically improv sets, and they get we're all on drugs and
wild.
drunk and
Yeah.
whatever. But like
Of
he's
course.
he's
Are
killing.
you
it.
going to McCarthy this July 4th?
We go. Every
He goes
year.
every year.
I went
year.
in 2019. I went 2019 for
I
July
was
4th.
I was there.
No shit.
Yeah.
So
He was
you've
the guy
gone
that was naked
every
on
year.
shrooms.
You were
I
that guy.
might have been.
No
It
shit.
was that was the year that the whole state was on fire.
Yes.
It was like 100
Yes.
goddamn degrees.
And it was like McCarthy was like the only place that didn't have smoke.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking hot. And there was
Yep.
flies everywhere.
it was the year of the flies.
the year of the flies.
Yes.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, we'll have to go to
You're
Gotta
gonna
have
eat
some
that.
more.
You're gonna eat that whole thing, aren't you?
You know what?
You know how many
I'm a
calories
big-
that is?
You know what? I'm going to burn him
Don't
off
let
in the
him
sauna.
body shame you.
I know.
That's his gig.
Fat
That is my
He
shaming
loves body
works.
shaming
I do like to
everybody.
body shame, yeah.
Like, don't let him.
God,
don't
we
let
could
him.
talk about that later.
You're looking.
Yeah.
We could get into
So I
that.
spent
He's
my
just
life.
going to get
Really?
after it. Can't help it.
Were you chubby as a child?
See, look at
I'm
this.
still
The
chubby.
European in him.
He was
It's the
he
European in him.
He was definitely
Can't
a
help
little,
himself.
Me
You're not
and
chubby.
both of us were chubbier than we are now.
Yeah.
For
I don't
sure.
think either of you are chubby
Well,
now.
thank you.
Sexy.
Currently,
Thank you.
Yeah.
hot as.
That's why I started wrestling because I thought I would lose weight quicker.
Oh, and then they maybe were like, get bigger.
And no.
No.
Well, yeah, because I sucked, so they made me go up a weight class. So they're like,
See?
we
There
got
we
an
go.
opening
There we
at
go.
148. So here's one that I thought was kind of interesting. Partnerships fail all the time. Why not yours?
I mean, give us time.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Yeah. I mean, almost 10 years in business together. I mean,
Yeah.
Is it?
There's always tomorrow.
Is it like a healthy marriage? It's boring.
I would say it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I don't know
come
about-
on.
Healthy marriage.
Oh, come on.
Healthy might be.
He's playing this as if we're like terrible people to each other. No, we very consciously have to communicate often.
mm,
very often.
And
We have
Do
to
you guys want to fight? You guys want to fight a lot?
With less domestic abuse.
According to most questions, we have to fight.
A lot of people want to see that.
We've worked, I mean, out on like a marriage, we've had to work on like communication and sitting down and like, hey man, here's what I was saying. Oh, my bad. Here's what I was saying. And like pissed. We've had to, And normally that's like me because I don't know how to communicate all the time. It's been like, hey, you seem upset. No, I'm fine. Yeah, but if you weren't fine.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Well, here's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's I feel like if we're comparing it to a marriage, it's very similar in the way that we have to be very conscious and like, intentional about communicating with each other. And
a lot of makeup sex.
We both a lot of makeup sex. Yeah, I think that we both unintentionally piss each other off pretty often.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that it's unintentional. And when we confront each other about it, it's like, oh, fuck, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. And then it just, we move on and figure it out.
We've worked a lot on like, the intentionality of things.
Sure.
And so if it's innocent of intent, then you weren't in the wrong. I've just
like when
perceived
you punch a
whatever.
child
At
school.
Right.
It's on accident.
Well, yeah. And I mean, not to get too into this, but like, you do a lot of work on like your own personal ability to communicate, and I do the same thing. And it's a lot of it's like I can't control the way that you perceive things, and I can only it's just classic communication skills, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why because we work on it. Because we're not just like give me the money, you fucking dickhead, and then
well, what's the step that you guys have been like working on it? How do you work on it? What's something that like you're like, do you take time every week to sit down and like, hey, how are you doing? Check in.
It's normally as things come up, we then like sit down with each other, and we've tried to make more of a conscious effort of having more fun together than just like every meeting we have is work.
Yeah.
And so we try to interject as often as we can something fun. Like this is something fun.
Yes.
We're doing it together. This is a fun thing. But then there's other times where it's like, hey man, we got to like, do you have a minute? Can we step outside? Like, let's talk about this real quick. And I would say to our credit, it goes by pretty quickly and like, hey, here's a thing. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean that. Here's what I was thinking. Okay. I hear you. Here's what you were saying. All right. Do you hear me? Yes. And then we literally are able to move on.
Nice. I think that's the biggest thing is that we didn't always do this.
No. But it's a thing that we have worked on.
We work on, and we currently, if something's bothering us, we got to take care of it right away. And let's like, hey, let's bring it up and talk. We don't let it boil and get worse than it actually
or
is.
create resentment.
Exactly.
And that's a big deal.
That wasn't always like that, I'm assuming.
No.
You guys
it's been a process.
Worked
10
on
years.
it. Yeah. I feel that. I mean, I think it's similar to Kyle and I.
We don't really have a lot of bad stuff happen between us. Occasionally, you know,
we're also not on like a big scale like you guys are.
Yeah,
but you guys are in business together. I mean, I'm sure there's communication.
We definitely had like, especially with Cut and Caliber, we're like, okay, well, you don't want to do this, but I do, and like that sucks, and like let's talk it through.
Yeah,
and then like there's similar things with Go Fix Yourself or the videos that we do or whatever. Then I'm like, I am very much of an optimist, and like I can be like, full in on this one thing, and then Kyle's very much a pessimist, and he's like,
very much.
Let's talk about.
I feel you.
The realist expectations of what could come out of this, and I'm like, no, it'll be great, it'll be huge, and so it's it's that leveling out. I think that's also a nice thing, and it's that I mean, I hate to say it again, but the right brain, left brain kind of thing. It's like you need to be different. And I think that works and that's cohesive. I think communication is definitely, like you said.
That's been the most crucial aspect of everything.
It definitely has been. And I think that, I mean, to our credit, however, not to just be like, oh, it's terrible and we have to work on it all the time. We do work well together.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that we have similar visions and similar ideas, and like it's
similar humor styles,
and we're both
jokes and-
pessimists. So
we always think everything's
we
gonna
always
fall
think
apart.
Bleeding
everything's
Heart's
the worst.
actually going down in 6 months. So
Yeah.
that's what
But
we
we
think.
both know that.
Yeah,
So
we're fine.
We're fine with it.
Meet you on the highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meet you on the highway. I'll
Yeah.
be getting gas.
Yeah.
You'll be waiting.
I'll be
at
blowing my
full shit.
brains out.
Good circle back.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
it.
Well, and then one thing that's really weird that kind of came unexpected to me, and this is kind of cheesy, but like as a husband, I find myself almost like business-fying my marriage to like
Sure.
when we have issues between each other. I'm like, you know what? The best way to do this is just to like talk out what went wrong, why we're miscommunicating, and like get on the same page. Because I mean, it is like the partnership that you chose to be in, similar to business.
Right.
It's
Well,
like
that's not even, that's just communication. That's like the
Right.
right way to communicate with
I
people.
agree, but I think it almost took being in business to like understand the best way to like move on is to have that awkwardness, discuss it, and then you both can kind of move on to the goal.
Sure.
Which I mean, in marriages,
Well, that-
I guess
Like
Forever.
My wife has pioneered that aspect of our relationship of mine and my wife, where growth and working on one's communication was never something that I thought about, dumb Marine. And then I've taken those aspects. I'm like, hey, if it works well in my marriage, I wonder how this would work in like
business,
our
or-
friendship.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's been like, oh wow, this works
This
really
is
well.
just how relationships
This is how
should work.
relationships
Yep. Yeah.
work. And
Yeah.
so and we've been able to take that on our own and use that in other aspects
With
of
our
just
employees
communicating with
and-
people.
yeah.
And learning how to interpersonally communicate and express I statements
Yeah.
and not accuse people and
That, man, that's the one thing my wife has been teaching me too. Shout out to the wives.
Yeah,
let's be
dude.
honest.
Oh,
Shout
They
out to all
play
the
a
wives.
huge part.
But it's like basically like, there have been times where I'm like, Kyle just doesn't want to do this and Kyle does that. And then she's like, let's talk about this for a second.
But Kyle's the smartest guy I know.
That's exactly what she
and
says.
he's so
Yeah.
handsome
Yeah.
and good looking
Yeah.
and charismatic.
I'm like, fuck, babe, what?
He needs to put down the Rice Krispie treat though, to like be honest.
No, they're like, she'll be like, okay, like, let's take Kyle out of that sentence that you just said and then put Steven in that sentence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Yeah,
I hate myself.
I'm the one that's
Right.
like unsure about it or whatever the
Or take
predicament is.
Kyle out and put somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if someone else was talking to you about these things, not your partner,
Right.
how would you respond? Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it's a little different because, but Kyle, he's pissing me off. Well, yeah, but if it was someone else, how would you
Yeah.
respond? Well, I guess not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
Yeah.
something that we've just been recently dealing with is like taking that other person out of it and being like, what am I doing in this scenario? Like, what am I projecting? Like, what am I actually saying is, I want this instead of saying he's doing this. It's instead,
Yeah.
I
Oh, that's
want
so good.
this thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, so it's
That
No, that's
self-responsibility and
Yeah.
ultimate ownership of I want this thing. I'm upset that this person isn't doing
The
this
thing
thing
that I
that
Exactly.
I want.
Yeah.
and so like, have I
so,
communicated
yes.
that? What are the steps that I've
Right.
made for that? Like
That
you
is, yep, it's crazy. That has been part of my learning this week. It's just
Dude.
like communication. Am I communicating what I
Right.
want clearly enough? And then I'm like, well, yeah.
I'm communicating it for me.
Yeah.
I
In my
know
own
what I-
head.
In my own head.
Pretty
I know
clear
what I
with
want.
myself.
I think
Very
that's
clear.
the crazy thing because I'm like, I'm in a band and I was like, yeah, they're not doing this shit and I'm doing everything. And then she's like, well, have you communicated that you want help in that? I'm like,
Well, they should know I want help. No, they can't
bingo.
know.
They
can't know.
They're
Were
all
you watching us?
morons.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that was like an actual.
Because we're all dumb and
Yeah.
we've all said these things. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then
100%.
we just try to grow from as my mother always said, and she hates that I say this, but she'll never know that I've said it out here. As my mother always said, learn by fucking it up first.
Oh,
Shout out to mom.
that's a good
shout out
bumper
to
sticker.
Mom.
She's never said that.
She's never said that. She gets very upset with me when I attribute especially swear words to her.
Well, what do we got here? This is the one I was thinking of when you were
Lot lizard.
Lot lizard.
lot lizard.
So Lot Lizard is actually
Smells great.
It's brand new. It just came out. This is my concession to people that don't like really heavy beer. This is a American lager that was dry hopped with mosaic hops. So that smell you're getting is mosaic, a little stone fruity. It definitely has a little bit of for me, like a tangerine sort of aroma to it. But otherwise, it is like your classic Budweiser. Like it's 5.some odd%, 5.8. Super
Which
light.
is super low on
Definitely
our scale.
better than Budweiser. Let's
Well,
get
yeah,
out
but
there.
but I mean like style-wise. Like
Style-wise.
it's just like a simple lager. The only thing I did differently is I added some really great, Northwest hops to it.
Nice.
This is the first time I'm tasting this.
It's fucking
Oh,
badass.
It's great.
so good.
It's great. Here's one thing I've always been curious about. I've been watching a lot of wine and whiskey documentaries, and they're all like, I'm tasting. Well, just to quote you, stone fruit. I'm tasting,
Tangerine.
whatever. So, do you guys have like a little group, or do you just do it yourself? I mean, where do you come up with like, the brainstorming of like, all right, I'm tasting this. Okay, let's put it on the label.
Taste that beer, Cornfield,
What do you taste?
and then say what you taste.
But here's the thing: people are bad at it. People will be like, "Oh, I taste like honey." Well, do you really? Like, I don't
Yeah.
taste honey. So where do you kind of come up with that, like, the dialect to talk about?
I think the way that
Beer.
there's what you're supposed to do is to taste the thing and then go through like a catalog in your own mind of like, does this taste like nutmeg? I know what nutmeg tastes like. And then be like, no, that's
No,
not
it does not.
There's no nutmeg in
No
that.
nutmeg.
And then, but like, you already know, like, this is going to be light. It's going to be crisp. It's going to be fruity. Right. So then like, okay, what are other descriptors that I could use for that sort of a thing? Right.
Yeah.
So I go through and I'm like, is it piney? Some hops are piney. This one's not that piney. Is it stone fruit's a really classic descriptor for hops. This has got some stone fruit. This has got some peach. This has got some, that sort of flavor profile. It's got some tangerine to it, which isn't a stone fruit, but it's a little, citrusy sort of a thing. So for me, it's just like the Rolodex of like, what do I know? And then how do I, utilize that to communicate what I taste?
Also, you can look up like certain hops are going to have certain characteristics. So like
Sure.
some are going to taste like grass. We didn't use that hop.
Yeah.
So if this has grass notes, that's a problem because we didn't use any of the things that would make it give you that grassiness or that pine that you would get normally from like a
Centennial.
big C hop like Centennial or Cascade. But that's not in here. You have Mosaic, and Mosaic is very much like peach, like nectarine, a little bit of plum, like those stone fruits.
See, that is
So it makes sense.
that's the one thing. I mean, like, I feel like I'm horrible at being like calling out what I taste, but then as soon as someone says tangerine, nectar, those adjectives or those descriptors, I'm like, oh yeah, I taste that. I taste it.
Well, I think a lot of people are just bad at knowing what they're tasting. Like it's just like
Or how
all
they're
the-
feeling, or what they're,
Well,
what they're
that's
seeing.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a skill
Literally
set.
about to say
Well,
that.
yeah. You guys have kind of perfected whatever you want to say because
It's
you've kind of practiced it, right?
Yeah.
And so the layman that tries something is like, this tastes like beer.
For
Like
sure.
they just don't have any Rolodex in their
Right.
head of stuff.
Which you know what?
I think it's most people, to
But
be
that's
honest.
also a completely valid way to
Right.
perceive things and taste things.
I agree.
If you taste the thing and go, that tastes like red wine, and I like it, and I'm not going to be like, oh, you can't taste the goddamn dried blueberries that they
You're not
stamped
a
on in
sommelier.
November. Like,
yeah.
Though sometimes when he
Sometimes I
asks
do.
me, hey, how's that beer that we just tapped? He doesn't like it when I say it's good.
Oh yeah.
that is a completely different situation. You are in this business, and I'm looking
It's
for
good.
feedback.
It's good.
Yeah.
Tastes good. I
How's
drink
it taste? It's sour. Well,
well, good thing it's
Well,
a
it
sour.
is a
Jesus,
sour.
good thing it's a
I
sour.
Let me
know
go
it's-
through my Rolodex.
I know it's going to be sour. God.
I was like, yeah, it tastes good. God damn it.
Well, needless to say, I love this beer. I think it's great. It's light.
It's
I,
very good.
I do like the idea. 'cause
grassy.
Alaska,
And if you like it, we don't give a shit.
Alaska, we have very heavy beers.
We do, yeah.
We like our heavy beers. I'm a big IPA drinker, and so once in a while, when I'm like drinking a golden or blonde, I'm like, oh, these are nice too.
Yeah.
These are nice too.
Well, and like I said in the beginning, this is something that I'm doing we're doing intentionally.
Yeah.
We for the first time in our 7 years have gotten a bunch of people complaining that our beers are too strong.
Really?
Too high ABV, not enough. Not
How
enough
many people are we
lower.
talking about? Like 10?
Quite a few.
I'd say in the last week, it's been at least like 3 or 4 people a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or last
Wow.
couple weeks. I mean, yeah.
Because the lowest we have is 6.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
this
that's
one.
a coffee porter.
This is 5.8. And so now
so
this
it's
is the
under
lowest.
6.
Yeah,
so
this is
this
now
is
the lowest. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you tell those people? Do you have a message for
Too
them?
bad.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna say.
fix yourself.
Yeah. Go next door. You can get plenty of beer under 5%.
Careful. I mean, I take that as
I'm
good criticism because it's also cost effective to brew
Cheap
lower
or lower
ABV
right,
beer.
right.
Yeah.
So our goal this summer is to be making sure that we have at least one tap that is lightweight, golds, Helles, pilsners, lagers.
That was
I sent
nice.
you the Hell's list.
Yeah, no, I
Start looking
already,
at-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so we'll start looking at it.
Maybe you guys could
Communication.
communicate a little better.
Well, I forget, now that you say that, I forget that it's a
I already edited it.
shared thing. Did you delete things?
I deleted the whole lot. No, of course
Not
not.
again.
Of course not.
Okay.
Anyway,
Let's get to. There's a couple questions on here that I feel like.
yeah, that was supposed to be rapid fire. We're not.
Well, right.
You have to give us like one sentence or less.
Yeah.
Blob.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay. After that one, we have. Why doesn't Stefan kiss me anymore?
Oh.
So
No name? No
no
name?
name.
No name. Dave.
Also,
Dave with his pants
or
down.
Jason.
still.
It's either Dave
or
or Jason.
That's
Jason.
Jason's question.
Yeah.
Why doesn't
It
Stefan kiss me
actually
anymore?
is before the word Jason.
No.
Yeah. Swear to God. Look at.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There's the question,
Yeah,
and
it
then
is.
Jason.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I wonder if that's twing.
I mean, we have also
I
so
know.
many other Jasons.
I know, but
I
that's
know.
the first.
Who you been
Yeah,
kissing?
we know so many Jasons too.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm pretty loose. I'm pretty loose with my lips.
Loose with the lips.
Loose with the lips.
He sinks a lot of ships.
I'm a ship sinker, as they say.
as they say.
Truthfully.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to answer that one, or are you just going to say I just listen a lot?
Well, I mean, I
You're sinking ships. We got you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
loose lips
I don't know
and
how to
ships.
answer
Yeah,
that question.
yeah.
I don't know who you are. Maybe you wronged me.
That is true.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem is they don't kiss him enough.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I want to be chased.
Jason.
Every once in a
Jason?
while, right?
You know what? Treat me to a
know what?
dinner.
Make it dangerous.
That's all I'm
you know?
looking for is a little my way.
I saw it. I'm
sometimes.
sorry. This is what happens. I saw a tweet that said like, "Men, how would you like it if we took you to dinner, paid for your dinner, and then brought you home, and then had sex with you, and then expected you to leave?" And then everyone replied, "That would be sick."
Yeah.
Like
Sign me up.
sign me up.
You're gonna pay for dinner and then
We're gonna bang, and then you're gonna be like, "Get out."
get out.
I'd be like,
all right. I still got plenty of night left ahead.
Yeah. So in this case, prospectively, Jason, just chase me.
Yeah, a little pursuit here
I
and there. Yeah.
I want to be treated.
Maybe I want to be pursued.
I want to be treated like a princess.
I get it.
Chase me.
Next question. Are you actually this cool in person?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not kidding. That's
No name
the
again?
next question. No name.
Is that about us or about you guys?
I think it's
Or
about.
all-
I think
all
it's
of
about
us.
me.
All
To
of
be
us.
honest,
I think they might be asking
Let's
you
be
guys.
honest.
I think it's everybody.
We are on so much a smaller scale than you guys right now. I mean, you guys are out there making videos constantly. People know when you say Bleeding Heart Brewery, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know." When you say "Go fix yourself," people are like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
So I would imagine it's
The answer for
YouTube.
us, short, yes. Your turn.
My Logan, who does our videos once, or not once, but he once asked my wife. We had gotten done doing a video, and
What's your wife?
He was like, "Well, God, Zach must be like crazy at home all the time," and she was like, "No, man, he's boring.
Yeah.
He just wants
He just
to
turns it on for the camera.
He just wants
Yeah.
to be at home and like watch Marvel movies and like cook dinner and just hang out with the dog. Like he's boring.
Punch
I'm
a
like,
few
yeah,
kids at
I am.
Do we
I am
live the same
boring.
life?
I am a boring
We might.
person. And then when I leave the house, I'm like, all right, here we go. Waka waka. And I got to do.
That's a t-shirt right there.
Waka waka, waka waka waka. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go home tonight and drink bourbon and sit on the couch and
Honey, why don't you ever pursue me?
look how great I am.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
I'm
flip the
boring.
roles.
I'm boring at home. We're at home and she's like following like ventures and doing all kinds of shit, and I'm just like, hey, did you watch this Marvel movie yet? We should watch this Marvel movie.
It's the
And I'm
same
gonna-
movie, but it's
Endgame again.
it's number 17 of whatever fucking dumb shit they're still doing. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
can't stand Marvel.
it's funny because are you a big fan of Marvel?
I mean, I'm an average fan.
I just made her go see Guardians 3 yesterday.
Oh, no spoilers, please.
It's emotional.
I heard,
That's all I'm
it
telling
gets,
you.
it gets dark.
It gets real dark.
I
Kids
But
die.
she was like, okay, I will go
Love it.
for you and our boy August, and we will go watch this. But I'm not your like Marvel movie person. Like,
Not your
please
Marvel
have somebody
maiden.
else to
Yeah.
go. I was like, no, that's
Don't
fine.
put me in this position.
Yeah, I don't
want to
be doing all of this forever.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna make Marvel movies
Forever.
forever.
They have
I
to.
hope
It's
not.
a moneymaker.
I hope not.
Marvel
But wait,
and
are
Star
you into
Wars.
Marvel?
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, all right, cool. Do I have your number, Cornfield? We will go to the movies. Well, yeah,
Bring
perfect.
it on, baby. I
That's
haven't,
actually-
seen, I
I-
haven't seen Guardians 3 yet, so I'm like,
Okay.
Honestly,
pining
that
to.
might be a great like kindling of a relationship here because
There we go.
you guys could just like not talk, go to Marvel movies,
Communicate
Drink
less.
beers.
drink beer,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
leave.
That's the beauty of
Yeah.
you guys out in the valley. You have that one theater that does allow alcohol
Every
beverages.
theater
Allows
Yeah, you
until
can.
you
you
just
get
have to be
caught.
sneaky.
Yeah.
enough.
Okay, all right, all right.
She literally brought in a 22
Yes.
ounce bottle of Woot Stout for me into the theater yesterday. And she's like, "Hey, are you bringing this into the theater?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like putting it in my pants. And she's like,
Normal.
"Put it in my purse."
Dude, those
What a
kids make
lovely
like
wife.
$10 an hour. They don't give a shit.
No,
if-
they
No.
don't.
If you don't show them, they're not going
No.
to be like, "Hey, man, let me."
What about the
No.
kid with the flashlight walking down?
Nope, didn't happen.
That doesn't
I know.
exist anymore.
I know, but I remember I was just like, that job sucks.
There was,
Yeah.
there
I'm
was
just
a,
drinking a bomber in the middle of the theater.
dude.
Like
there
the
was a
good, like,
time.
early 2000s.
it was my band and Kyle. We were on tour and we went to double feature. Right, we went into another theater after the movie.
Well, that's
But-
what you do.
Classic.
Yeah, but we also we were idiots and we brought bottled of beer and we were like, we can twist off, right? No problem. So we were like putting it in our pockets,
Guess we're drinking Blue Moon.
sweatshirts. We're in fucking Dallas, Texas, hot as can be, and we're like fucking sweatshirts with hoodies, like we're fucking packing beer everywhere. Then we get to the seats and we're like, we need a bottle opener. We have no bottle opener. So like the whole time, like the whole movie, the whole first movie, we're just like fucking taking it to the seat and just being like
Yes.
smacking as hard as we can,
I
and it's
love
like
that. I
loud.
love that.
You
Even
guys
like
need to
I
chew.
feel like a can would have been like, you know, and
you
like
time it. You
can
time
time
the
it.
crack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's exactly what we were doing.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
just like, okay, and bang. Yeah, and it's like, oh fuck, that was not a bang. Like, and it's just like
was
people
a-
were looking at
It
us
was a rom-com.
because we're just like, yeah.
I'm waiting for the guns to
It
go
was
off.
the Notebook. It was the Notebook.
Yeah.
When did-
Great movie,
If I'm a
though.
bird, you're a bird.
Yeah.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
That's
right.
my secret. Oh God, that's a guilty pleasure.
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
I love
I
it.
couldn't.
Really?
I couldn't think of
I love that
in
movie.
that
Me
interview.
too.
It is-
Yeah. The Notebook.
Also,
is
Noah?
definitely
Also,
one of
P.S. I love you.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
killer.
Wow.
Man,
Guys,
you take
listen.
me back to.
Dude.
I thought if I watched
Why is
more
this the
chick
only
flicks,
time we hang out?
that I would
Yeah.
get more chicks.
Oh, that's not the case.
You know, I had a lot to talk about, but I think it put me in the friend zone more often.
For sure.
But you know,
If
whatever.
you were
I don't want to talk about it. It's kind of dark. Anyways,
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
so
Everything's
this one
fine.
I feel like is specific to somebody. It
Uh-oh.
says, "What's your beef with Magnetic North about?"
Oh, lol. Did he?
I was just there
It's-
earlier today.
Did someone say
um,
anything when you were there?
No, we were just
Oh.
no. We were just hanging out.
Jeremiah?
He did, yeah,
Jeremiah?
Jeremiah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jeremiah.
He said, "Tell Steven, fuck you."
Oh,
And then he
Obviously.
sent me our parody video of Ola Quesaritos that
Yeah.
we did that I've never shown you.
So it's me.
Well, we made
We're
fun
making
of
fun
you.
of you
Yeah.
Oh.
in our Ola
Yeah.
Quesaritos video.
From years ago.
But we talk shit about Jeremiah quite a bit.
Out
and-
of love.
Yes,
Out of pure love.
in most videos, like he'll share something and tag us in it and talk shit about us, and
Yeah,
then we'll
it's
talk
beautiful.
shit about him.
I've
it's,
seen that.
It's a constant banter, but it is out of love, and we do love Jeremiah, and we do respect him, and I think that he's one of the few, like, I would say, few breweries that we have a positive relationship with.
Yep.
That we like lean into. Like we get along with pretty much everybody, but Jeremiah is one of the people that we actually care about. So
Yeah.
people might.
You're harsh on him because you love him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's also a vet. I mean, he was in the Navy, so.
So
But,
Yeah.
you know.
You know, I have yet to be to magnetic. Fuck that sentence up. I haven't been to magnetic
be
north.
to.
I haven't been there yet. But like when
Well,
he
maybe that's why he said fuck.
maybe
Steve.
that too.
Yeah.
Because well, this is another thing too. So back in the day, before he even started, he's like, he's telling me I'm gonna start this brewery. I want to hire you to do the logo, and I was like, oh, okay. So I made logos. He didn't like them.
Oh.
He didn't like actually my first ever client, first ever person that I actually
did
they
know
suck?
that. I forgot.
I did not know that.
I did know that.
So yeah, he didn't go with me, which is
Yeah.
fine. Like that happens
Right.
now, but
Yeah.
he was my first one, so it was kind of like devastating a little bit.
Sure.
And so now I'm like, oh man, maybe he's talking about me. Maybe he hates me. Maybe I should go to Magnetic North.
Have you seen his logo?
Yeah, it's great.
It's not great.
It's better than what I
It's a
did.
fucking barrel with a Mac.
I
Like,
love. All right,
it's
I
whatever.
saw
we
it.
love you, Jeremiah.
Wait,
Yeah.
can we just be honest
What are
first?
his? What did
I'd
yours
have
look
to
like?
pull them back.
What
But one of them
that
was,
was years ago.
Was what's the thing that they put on top of a barn?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the word?
A wind vane? A wind
whatever.
fucking-
No,
like
with
with
the
the chicken.
rooster and
So
the
he
chicken?
showed him to you.
Yeah, with the chicken.
He showed
with
him
the
to
chicken
you.
in
Yeah,
the
it's
air.
like a wind. I don't know. Fucking. It's a
He
wind
showed him
thing.
to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked the wind
chicken
thing.
I mean, back in that day when I was like making logos, because I don't make any logos, I send them to Mara.
To my wife now.
Yeah, who's
Gala Studios.
at Gala Studios. People should check
Shout
that out. But yeah, so I mean, like I was in logo world. Like I would make the logos and I would
You
think
were
about it,
devastated.
what they're going to be. I was actually, yeah, I was
I'm
like,
sure.
I was
I can
bummed
see
about
that.
it.
Just being like,
Super
Because at
invested.
that time,
Love it.
I was a big
Yeah.
people pleaser too. So it's like if people didn't like my work or people didn't
They
watch
don't
my
like
vlogs,
you.
Yeah.
bingo.
Clearly.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to
personal.
figure that out.
Right.
And then we go back to the communication and the working
it's not
through
business, it's
shit.
personal.
Yeah.
Look at
Anyway.
us actually doing a fix yourself
Hey, this
sort of
is actually
situation.
fix
Like,
yourself.
Wow, look at
Just
us.
cut
Look at us.
all of this into one 5-minute clip.
Well,
Boom, fix yourself.
Yeah.
Communicate and talk.
I have to say, looking at this question without this knowledge, I don't know Jeremiah or any of this. I
Well,
was
that's
like,
where you're
who
wrong.
has a beef with Magnetic North because it moves or it changes? I thought it was literally Magnetic North.
it's fake.
I was like,
You still
Wait.
believe in North?
North
yeah, I
is
was
up.
like,
Okay, North
True
is
North.
up.
Right.
I don't believe in true north.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be Zack or Stefan. Like,
That's very funny.
They don't maybe believe like North is
Right.
North.
No, like, we believe that the world is round, but like North is
North
not.
is BS.
It's
Yeah.
'Cause it
bullshit.
changes.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? If you were looking the other direction, maybe North is fucking a different.
Maybe
I'm
North
just-
is
I don't know.
whatever is, your perspective.
It's a matter of
It's
perspective.
North,
But I-
North is that way.
North is
literally-
in front of me.
Right.
This is North.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I read this morning and I'm like, that's kind of obscure.
You were just like
we're going to argue
blurry-eyed.
about
That's
Magnetic
interesting.
North.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had no idea.
Well, that kind of goes in with the question, where can I find Bigfoot? So I kind of was like, oh, they're going to throw out some like flat earth or conspiracy theories.
yeah.
Like, and I mean, we can answer that if we even believe in Bigfoot. I mean, I think we
We
touched on this.
We did.
last
You,
time.
you
Last
guys are
podcast.
big Bigfoot
And
ghost
no.
people.
I'm big in the
I thought you guys were ghost folks.
I
Ghost
love
people.
the
Folk.
idea.
Okay.
I don't
Right.
believe
Yeah.
in anything
Oh, okay.
like that.
Okay.
No.
You don't believe in ghosts at all?
No, not at all.
Not even
Really?
Nope.
Yeah, see, I mean, that might be where we
Huh.
differ because ghosts
That's
in my
fine.
head might be something different. I'm
I'd
not
agree
sure.
with you, but,
But at the same time, Bigfoot in my head,
Definitely not.
No,
There's no
I'm
way.
not a fan. I mean, like,
No.
I love the idea of like something out there, and like, I think
Yeah.
it's so cool. And like, hell yeah, did you see this guy's fucking
Right.
hunter cam? And I was like, this
Right.
is the coolest.
the
thing.
throwback to
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
what's that? A game cam?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
That's my favorite bit from that podcast. Is that
But,
a
like,
game cam?
You've seen the stabilized footage of like the 1950s.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It's
like,
like
it's
clearly a
that's
man
dude in a
in a
fucking
suit.
suit. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
No,
I-
but I'm ghosts. I mean,
Like,
I've definitely experienced things that
I
I can't
agree.
explain.
Give me one example.
yeah, give me an example.
Going to great grandma's house after she passed.
Mhm.
I was the only one there. I know that for a fact.
Oh God, are any of your grandparents
And
naked?
Well, no, and she came out titties out. No, and then,
Tits to teeth. That's all I saw.
they were flapping in
Tits
the
to
wind.
teeth.
Yeah,
Grandpa.
You're afraid of the wind.
yeah, fuck, dude. And then an earthquake.
Yeah.
No, but I'm. God, it's always about my grandparents and nudity.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's
I'm
always
so
connected.
glad they don't know how to listen to podcasts.
I hope they've learned.
Oh God, God! I was so scared, by the way, about my family
Like,
listening to the
that
last one.
Grand Dick.
Nobody listened.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Over time, it'll happen.
Yeah.
no, they'll be dead. Go
By
to
the time we get big enough.
yeah, go to great grandma's house because I'm like having friends over and stuff. I'm the first one there. I go down in the basement, start the pilot light, like things that you do to an old house. You have to get it started. No one
Right.
lives there. Anyway, I'm in the crawl space. I'm getting things turned on, and there are footsteps. Like I know what footsteps sound like. It's not like the
Sure.
creaking of a house.
Yeah.
It's you know.
Okay.
And,
For anybody who didn't
cool
know
shit.
how footsteps sound like.
Yeah. Wait, that's what it
Can
sounded
you
like?
guys hear that?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear?
That
Anyway,
was good Foley right there.
fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, very clear footsteps upstairs. I'm like, oh, one of my friends showed up. Like, and so I finished doing the thing. Go back there. No one's there.
Right.
It's great grandma.
Well,
Clearly great grandma.
Did great grandma die in the house?
She did.
Oh,
but
well,
but
that
my
makes it
question to you is always like,
interesting.
why did she decide to just show her footsteps at that moment?
I don't think she's deciding to do that.
So she accidentally
I think
did it. Like she.
Well,
you know,
what if there's this like
and why does she have shoes on?
what
Did
if
she
there's
take
this
them
like
to heaven?
middle
Like,
what if there's this like middle plane where people are
where
just like
there's
existing
physical.
and then every
Yeah,
once
yeah,
in a
yeah,
while
Good
yeah,
argument. Yeah. Why did she have shoes on?
I'm not saying
That's my issue. Is like people are like, oh,
They don't wanna
the
listen. That's
perfume.
all
right.
No.
I feel you.
No, I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
open up
I'm
another
sorry.
beer. No, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
Bring another one out.
Bring
I'm
great
empty.
grandma back.
you know whatever.
So is that your
That's the one example.
one?
Because that's
or do
not
you have
holding up in
multiples?
court.
No, there's a bunch of them, but I'm
I
not going
heard
to continue.
footsteps, guys.
I'm not going to continue now that I've been,
No, I
Just
was. But I am.
in front of my friends.
I was intrigued.
In front
I
of
was
all
intrigued.
these people.
Yeah.
Demoralized.
Okay, well, anyways.
I
Just
will-
look off camera. And
I
be
will
like,
tell
"Oh."
you a similar story that I had.
I don't want to hear your dumb
So
story,
you can-
Kyle.
I agree. I agree.
Thanks, Kyle.
I'm just saying.
No, let me hear your
when
story. Let
my
me hear your story.
grandma, I got sent over to a sleepover at my
Just sweep
buddy's
that
house.
on the floor. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's just wax. Who cares? I got sent over
Don't
to a
actually do that.
sleepover when my grandma was sick, and I didn't know she was sick. And
Like dying sick?
dying, I didn't know this.
Ah.
And my parents sent me to sleep over at my buddy's house because they had to go to the hospital that night. I had no idea. In the middle of the night, I wake up and I'm crying. And I was like, oh, this is weird. I'm like, 10 years old, something like that. I'm crying. I get home the next day and they let me know that my grandma died that night. And I was like, that's kind of weird because
Yeah.
I didn't know grandma was sick. And that's like about as close to supernatural as I can kind of like fathom. But I just chalk it up to all coincidence.
I've heard of that kind of stuff.
Right. Like you had some sort of spiritual connection that told you.
Well,
I didn't
think
hear the
that was
footsteps,
a way
though.
shittier story than
No,
my
I
story.
agree. But I'm just saying that's as close as it gets for me. Rest in peace, Grandma.
I woke up and I was crying.
Maybe you were just a bitch, Kyle.
Yeah, well, that's probably true too.
And then they were like, Grandma died. And I was like,
Now I
"Oh,
know why I cried.
That must have been because
You heard.
I wasn't just
Stefan's
sad,
feelings.
guys. I was. It's because of Grandma.
Stefan, we need to communicate better. Okay.
Okay, what I'm hearing
What I'm hearing
is that you think I'm stupid.
no. I'm hearing that our grandmas are partying together. Great grandma.
Yeah,
But
probably.
his grandmother, his great grandma has her shoes on still.
Yeah, well, she's
does,
rocking
yeah.
out,
And apparently titties flapping in the wind. Shoes on, no shirt.
flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Just another Coachella.
Oh my god.
Coachella?
Okay,
Yeah.
here's a question that's not on here, but
That's
I've
a
always Coachella?
No,
Yeah,
he said
see?
Coachello.
Well,
that's
Like limoncello.
That's a different one. This is a question I've heard before. It's like
There's a male version and a female version.
right.
oh,
Oh,
no.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish.
do you have any like hardcore belief that you think most people don't hold?
Mm.
Like a lot of people like,
Can you
like
give me an example of something that
like a
maybe
conspiracy theory or like
Oh,
that.
9/11 was definitely an inside job.
Okay, that's like a huge one.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would think most people believe that, but like some people like think, I don't know, Christianity comes to mind, even though a lot of people hold that to be, I would say a lot of people believe in that. Hold on.
We're pouring a new beer, and Kyle's
He's just
Kyle's slow for the
flapping his
I'm
goddamn
sorry.
lips.
Again, he's been
Audio
too busy.
listeners.
I'm still
eating.
recovering from grandma shaming.
Oh, please.
He's been slamming those brown butter.
That was all
Brown
you.
butter.
It's all yeast on the bottom there. I don't want to give you that.
Oh, that smells good.
Which one? Let's talk about this one
Before
first.
answering the questions.
Sorry, this is
talk about
the
beer.
this is what we talked about in the beginning. This is down with it, or I think it was before we
Down with
recorded.
We
Yeah.
talked about this
This is down with the thickness.
last
Oh, yeah, this was.
Oh, we did.
This
podcast.
came up.
Yeah.
We told you we were going to
yeah.
bring this, and we did.
Down
Yeah,
with the thickness.
thank you.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
This
dun.
is Zack's 2022 brew. It's a blonde barley wine that we aged in a barrel that had since had maple syrup, vanilla, cinnamon, whiskey.
Mm.
Oh,
aged in it.
man.
All good things.
Yeah. So it's basically like French toast in a glass.
How did you? So That's another thing. Like, where did the barrel come from?
There's multiple companies that will like buy these barrels back from distilleries and things like that, refurbish them or clean them, and then resell them to brewers.
Yeah, so this is a good finish.
This is 17%.
Oh, that's so
good
good
ending
though.
beer.
It's fucking killer.
Oh my gosh, that's really
Dessert.
good. ASMR.
Whoa.
I can hear
that's
you too.
wild.
I don't like
Isn't that killer? Yeah,
I like it.
That is really good.
got
That,
that-
does not drink like 17%. So that's almost could be a little dangerous.
Definitely.
Well, that's why we split it amongst 5 of us.
Yeah.
To grandma's.
Hey, to grandma.
Oh wait, maybe it's just them. Maybe
Here we go. Here we go.
We were having a moment.
Work their shit out.
Yeah. We'll avoid that last, because I mean, most of the time it goes to like conspiracy. Like, did we go to the moon? Did we? Did
still
Hitler
believe in the
live
moon.
in South America?
I think if I had to pick one thing,
That's the one thing you're gonna-
Here's what I want to think that Hitler got
didn't
out.
die. Yeah.
Oh,
He went to South America.
I think he went to
Argentina.
I think he
You
went out.
want to think that?
I do.
That's
I
a
do.
weird. That's a weird thing to want.
If I had to
We
pick
not think
a
it's good.
conspiracy,
Huge fan.
that's what I think.
Huge fan of his
I
work.
mean, there's
Zach Lanphier,
too
huge fan of Hitler.
You and Kanye are.
You know, he didn't really do that. He killed. Well, no, he didn't. Maybe he didn't kill Hitler.
I don't believe that he killed himself. And also, the JFK assassination, I believe, was the CIA.
Okay. You
yeah.
know what?
3 shooters, right?
No.
No,
was the
I
guy in the
believe that
front.
it was full on.
It could be.
I don't think
Could be.
Lee Harvey Oswald was really.
No, he's the
responsible.
fall.
He's a
the fall
fucking
guy.
patsy.
He was a fall guy.
Yeah.
He's the bad
And the more, and I try to teach it in history with an unbiased approach.
That's tough.
Do you make
It's
him
gotta be
watch
tough.
the
Very-
Zapruder film?
Hell yeah.
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 I
and
had
then
the whole
and
couple
then
weeks.
I dump like 12 other videos about all the different conspiracies on their online stuff. And I'm like, here's some other things you could watch if you want to.
So that you don't think that I'm making you believe this one thing.
Open up
here's
that
all
old
the
here's a
brain.
bunch of
information.
stuff
Yeah.
that you can look at.
You know, this
but
is,
I think the CIA killed. It's just the issue that JFK, RFK, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King Jr. were all assassinated within the same few years.
Yep.
And I think
There's a little.
there's a
coincidence.
coincidence. That's all I'm saying.
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think that maybe we should move on because, like, this, I can feel like our listeners being like, you know what? I do believe those guys. You know what?
Why did they turn into like?
Why do you think? You know what?
Right.
Those guys, I didn't like them before, but they got a fucking
They got a point.
You know, why they got a
That's
southern
about as
accent?
political as
One
I
of them-
ever get
Yeah.
on a recording.
One of them-
I think
Let
it
me
was an
put
inside
back on
job.
Deliverance.
Yeah. You know what? One of them said 9/11 was an inside job, and the other one said the CIA killed JF. You know what? I like those guys.
Your sales are
And
just.
that's why we don't talk about these things.
You know what?
Next question.
While we're at it, fuck Bud Light.
I was waiting for that to come up. I was
little
waiting for
one
that.
said, "This is like Bud Light, but better."
The little one. The little one. that there short fella said that he didn't like Bud Light, and you know what? Neither do I.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Jesus.
Moving on.
Just end the podcast right there.
Yeah.
God damn.
To my dearest Zach and
70% is really hitting us.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
one sip in. Here we go. Oh, it's the Rice Krispies are finally starting.
they're kicking
I'm
in.
peeking.
I just down mine.
Dude, I'm coming
God.
up. Sorry.
To my dearest Zach and Stefan, how long until your wives run away to marry each other, and where would the honeymoon be, and what would the theme be?
Oh.
Would
So-
they get married or
Do you
are
have any names on there?
No,
Everybody's
afraid.
I don't think our wives would
Besides
get married.
Dave.
I think that we would run away with each other, though.
Yeah.
That makes more
I
sense.
could see
That's-
that.
Yeah.
Where would you guys go on a honeymoon?
not the deep south?
Probably not.
We would blend in very well.
Well, I'm still Mexican.
I'm not gay. This is my best friend. We just.
I'm not gay. He is. My husband is.
I just don't like women because they're dumb.
They never listen.
And then they're like, you know what? Yeah. These guys are making some sense.
We are gonna cut this up.
Oh, please.
No, cut it out. Cut it up.
No, we're gonna
Splice
cut it up.
Tag us on TikTok, however that works.
I want
We'll
Hitler
share
to
it.
be alive.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just saying, I think he escaped. He's dead now.
And you said you hoped he had
well,
escaped.
if I'm looking at all these things, that's the thing I want to believe.
I want Hitler to be
versus the
alive.
other
All
things. I think he got
Listen,
away.
None of
That's
us
all
are
I'm
going to
saying.
be running for president anytime soon.
that's
so
true.
nobody can use
we
this
went
against
over
us.
that on our last video.
Hot
like,
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I
We're
think-
running for assembly together for one
As
seat.
one seat.
One
Oh.
seat. We're
Yeah.
gonna split it.
Tops
That's
and
very
bottoms.
progressive
or you
of
could
you.
split it. Yeah.
I'm the top.
Taking
He's the bottom.
laps. Yeah.
Power to the
Yeah.
people.
Power bottom.
Power bottom, awkward top.
Yeah.
That's our. Yeah.
I think our honeymoon would. I mean, I'm just going to speak for both of us.
Yeah,
it would,
go
it
for
would,
it.
it would be in my country. We would go to Europe.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we
for
would
sure.
we would go.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Not
you were
even
just
a-
in
yeah.
a trip. Yeah. You were just over there for a while, weren't
I
you?
was just sitting on the couch tripping out, just like
You were on a
I'm
trip.
in Switzerland. Yeah. No, I went to. Me and my wife went to Switzerland to visit family.
How was it?
It was great. We're gonna move there for
Are you
sure.
really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What,
America sucks.
Well,
Not us.
Oh, see,
No,
now I
yeah,
just
yeah.
lost that guy who was super into us for a.
yeah. Well.
Well, anyway.
European.
Is it kind of like they're like, oh, I was in Maui. I want to move to Maui. Is it kind of like
No.
that?
Well,
or
I
you're
mean,
like
he's
you're like
from Switzerland.
I was born there.
So you're like really like
Yeah.
I want to live
Yes.
back here.
We're doing all the things to move there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's taking that step. So what does that look like as far as?
Timeline.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
End of next year, and it's basically
Yeah.
just
Oh
gonna
wow!
be.
So you already have a timeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit! We're getting 2 bombs
Right.
shit,
dropped
2
on
big
us
bombs,
on
yeah.
this podcast alone.
And that's part of the reason that I'm looking to do
He's
leave
coming
of
in,
absence,
I'm going
and so
out.
blah blah blah. and so
I'm just
kinda
gonna kind of
take out
take
that
more of a backseat sort of a role.
okay.
Yeah.
Like an owner that doesn't actually.
show up.
yeah.
I'm doing what he's been doing for 70. No, I'm just kidding.
Good. I'm
No.
glad you communicated.
No.
that. I was like, oh, that could be real.
That could have been touchy.
It's gonna be more of just like hey, if you need to get petty cash, don't let me know. Like,
Right.
or I'll answer emails, or hey, if you need to make like a $10,000 decision, clue me in.
right.
Okay.
But anything other than that, it's like
Here and
Under
there.
10,000?
Here and there.
No.
Right.
Don't care.
Well, there's
multiple $5,000.
$9,000
$990.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
That's
can
money
we-
laundering.
Can we break this up
Yeah.
into $9,000 payments? I don't have
Yeah.
to tell my partner.
I don't
about
know,
it.
my partner.
Go Ozark style with it.
But that's all part
Cool, I
of
lo-
this move.
So
is-
if we were-
I love
is
that.
dipping in, dipping
Yeah.
out, and then he'll be able to come back
In the summer.
in the summertime. We can do content. We can do the dumb shit that we already
Perfect.
do,
Or he could come
and then
to
I can go there. Like,
Yep.
or if
Yeah.
I dip out for a few months, then he can come back to Alaska. I
Yeah.
can dip out.
Cool.
All of it. So
I love
Tag
that.
team.
And,
But
I,
anyway-
and I love that you're like able to do that too, because a lot of people they're like, well, I would love to do that, but I just can't. The job or the dog or my life here. But it's like you and your wife have both set yourself up to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, and having the benefit of like I'm already a citizen is huge.
That is, yeah.
So it makes things a lot
So
easier.
is
Yeah.
she working on becoming a citizen as well too?
In order to do that, she has to live there. So that's kind of another part. Of, like we want her to get citizenship. So the new Swiss law is that you have to live there for 5 years and then take a test.
Okay.
Switzerland's got some pretty strict citizenship laws.
They do now. When my mom got her Swiss passport, it was just like, hey, I'm married a Swiss guy. Here's
That's
your
all it
fucking
took. That's all it
passport.
took.
Yeah, that was 30 years ago, but it's way different now. But anyway, back to Zach and I
Now we
being
got
gay
that-
and
we
running
got that
away.
other guy,
Yes,
though.
Yeah.
We got that
Switzerland.
guy back
we got
because
him.
of the strong Swiss citizen
Oh.
borders.
Oh
Board-
yeah.
Protect the borders.
You know
Yeah.
how many? I'm not going to say that.
Yeah,
I'm
don't.
actually not going to say that. We got
I know where you're going with that.
Say it.
no.
We got
No.
some strong-
Yeah.
No.
The question of
If we ran away, it would be probably to
It'd be
Switzerland.
It'd be to Switzerland. Yeah.
Mexico's great, but
We'd have all the
whatever.
gold in the world. Where from? Your
No,
your
don't ask.
buddy Hitler. Your
That's true.
No,
Zach's
he
friend.
went to Argentina.
Zach's friend Hitler.
That's all I'm saying.
Did you guys
I
see
think
that?
he went to Argentina. That's
cut
all
that
I'm
out.
saying.
Zach's friend Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that movie Sisu?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Not
Oh
yet.
my god, that
My-
looks dope.
I'm super stoked on it. Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen this?
No, what?
So
Sisu?
it's
Finnish.
it's a Finnish World War II movie done by the John Wick
Mhm.
Yeah.
guys.
Is it
I
all
have
in
seen-
Finnish?
I've
No.
seen the trailer.
I don't believe so. But
It
it's-
looks badass.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
dope. Anyways,
Okay.
There's
so you
gold.
guys are
There's gold involved.
There's
Well, I just thought about that with the
Nazi
gold, and then
Yep.
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Okay. Wow.
So you guys are running away to Switzerland.
Yes.
Yes.
Gay honeymoon.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll buy him.
We
I
just
love
call
it.
it a honeymoon.
We're gonna start a cafe, and I'm gonna buy him a Fiat. we call it. Yeah. Yikes.
All right, we're going downhill.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's-
this is one that I think
together.
is going to keep you guys accountable. It says, how much money did you guys end up donating for the Putin is a dick brew? So there must have been some sort of...
Ukraine. You guys were donating to Ukraine, weren't
Well,
you?
we donated to World Kitchen.
Yes.
Okay.
World,
And
World
so-
something kitchen.
I think it's just World.
No, it was like a 3-letter acronym. Look it up. We partnered with 203. Again, another shout out to 203. Turkey Red, and there was a couple other people that like kind of threw in their
The Fern.
Fern was involved as well. In the very beginning of the Ukraine, like what is it?
World Central Kitchen.
There we
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yep.
All right, we got a fact checker over here,
Here we
too.
go.
Thank you,
Jeez, I
Jamie.
should have had Jamie.
Thank you,
just do
Jamie.
it. Yeah.
Jamie, thank you.
Yeah, pull that shit up.
Matt, a.k.a. Jamie.
Yeah. So right in the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, we got with these other businesses in Palmer, and we wanted to obviously raise some money to help the situation over there. We figured that, governments were doing a great job getting money over there for bullets and things like that.
Yeah.
One thing that we really loved was the fact that this organization helped refugees, women, children, men, whoever were escaping from the war-torn
war.
area. Yeah. So by feeding them. So
Right.
because that's one thing you don't really think about. It's like, oh, let's help the military, but it's like, well, but also like food, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing.
yeah,
Everybody needs food.
I believe total with everyone involved, we did like $10,000 or $15,000.
That's what I was
Oh,
about
that's
to
very
say.
good.
Sweet.
I
It was almost 15,000 combined.
Why
Yeah.
don't we do anything like that, Kyle?
Donated to World Central Kitchen.
I think
we're
us
stupid.
personally, we did I think 3 or 4, something like that. And then it was like a bunch of different businesses in Palmer that like
Because then we also donated a percentage of all food sales, a
That's right,
percentage of
yeah.
all beer sales. And I mean,
Oh, I
so
love
it was
that.
a whole combined effort over a weekend.
a weekend. Yeah, it was Friday through Sunday. Like everything that we did, like X amount went to World Central Kitchen.
Love
So-
that.
so, yeah.
Awesome.
Do you guys do that stuff kind of a lot, or is it just like when
We
stuff
try to.
kind of
Yeah.
hits you and you're like,
Well,
oh,
I
I feel an
mean,
emotional response.
or somebody comes and says, "Hey, my friend's house burned down. Can you help raise awareness or raise some money or donate?" So, so we've done things that are social things like the World Central Kitchen, and then like breast cancer. We donate every year. We donate to the Breast Cancer Research Center here in Anchorage,
in Providence,
and we actually keep the money at Providence.
Cool.
And then, like Soda Jerks, their whole trailer burst into flames on the way down to Girdwood. And so we're like, hey, man, we can't just like give you money right now, but how about we make a soda and we give you the proceeds
the
from
proceeds
the
of it. Yeah.
from the
Love
soda. And so we
Sure.
gave them money because it's, the Soda Jerks is a local company. It's local people
Yep.
who suffered a loss. And so we
Nice.
do our part. So it's really,
Inspiring.
whenever something comes
From
up, we're
us.
like, hey,
Yeah.
we'll
Probably.
do this.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you guys feel like you're able to give back to other people
Right.
outside of beer sales.
Not to bring it back to one of Zach's favorite sound bites, but we are a community built we're a business
Don't
built.
fuck it up if
See,
you're
Ari,
going to say it.
This is my problem.
This is why I say
Yeah.
it.
We are a business built by a community, and so therefore we feel not obligated, but we feel drawn to support the community that built us.
Sure.
So
Lead, even.
I love that.
This is a fisher
Got
of
it.
people over
Did you
here.
guys practice that in the car? Okay, Stefan, it's a business built by a community.
Zach, you're gonna
I immediately fuck it up.
Zach, you're gonna have to. Zach, you're gonna have to find some redemption for the Hitler stuff. So this is where
Yeah,
we
here we
go.
go.
This was
God,
it.
the ups and
we're
downs
led.
we go through. We go through
Lead to give.
Zach's stoked that Hitler's still alive to like, hey, you know what? We're gonna
We
give
give
money
back to-
yeah, we give back to someone's house burnt down. Anyway,
That's what we sounded like too.
that's yeah.
I know. I appreciate my voice.
All right. What's your next rapid
You know
fire?
what? That was kind of the gist of them right there.
Cool.
To be
That was
honest,
You had
there was
20 of them.
we went through.
We're also on a time
16
limit,
of them,
Zach.
Oh,
We are on a time.
and
limit.
a couple of them were honestly kind of throwaways. You know, like why are you guys so handsome?
I will.
We could answer
Cut
that.
and Gallagher.
We could answer
Yeah.
Can we? I want to continue to talk about the Ukraine question because that sounded to me very tongue in cheek and pedantic of them to ask that question.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
we, as much
The most
work as we do,
volatile.
yeah, as much work as we do, like in the community to try and like donate and help people around, help people out.
That was
We got such a huge backlash.
Yeah.
From
Really?
doing, oh my
Oh, yeah.
God,
I
dude.
could see that in a heartbeat.
Wait, why?
Because America, I don't know.
There's a
Like,
lot of people that
think that they're denazifying Ukraine and we're supporting the problem, and it was crazy.
I just don't hang
You
out
just
with those
gotta
people.
turn
so I
on the
just don't
news.
know.
Right. No, it was
all
the
via
most
social media.
volatile and
Post you ever did.
angry post that
we had to
ever
block a lot of.
Wow.
Yeah, because people
Insane.
wouldn't see the fact that we're like giving to people who are running
that
away,
aren't involved.
who
in
aren't
the-
involved,
Correct.
and it's we're not giving to the government. We're not giving to we're giving to a organization that is feeding people.
Proven to be giving all of their proceeds to the actual thing that they're doing.
Right.
I don't
You know?
understand.
Which
someone's
is
thought
why we
process.
give our
Neither do
money
I.
directly to Providence for breast cancer research here in Alaska, in Anchorage
it's-
specifically, rather than to the overarching.
I'm going to correct you a little bit. It's not breast cancer research. It's for families of patients that are going through breast cancer treatment.
It's both of them.
Well, anyway, but it's specific because we went and
Say
toured
it
there.
both.
I know.
Say 'em both.
Well, we
I know.
Put it out
toured
there.
their facility,
was-
and
yes.
it's a completely like donation driven facility, and so all the money we donate goes to the people that are taking care, like helping children understand, like, oh, mommy's going through breast cancer treatment, like this is helping
Or
them.
you're going through
So
breast
you're,
cancer.
but you're not getting any
and-
flack on that.
No.
No.
But
Okay.
when we want to feed other people.
When you want to
that's-
feed other
yes.
people that
Yeah.
don't live
In
in
another
Alaska or
country
United
that
States,
happen to be
That's the
involved.
biggest.
in
That's the biggest thing we get is
You're taking
well, why
money
don't
out
you
of the state.
donate money to people in your backyard? It's like, okay, our canned answer. You do the canned answer because you're better at it.
The canned answer was, do you have an organization that you are actively involved in that you would like us to donate to?
Yeah.
If so, please give us the information
we'd love to be
we will
involved.
be a part of it. Crickets.
Yep.
Never once
They just wanna
did
be angry.
somebody
They just wanna be
say,
angry.
hey, I'm involved with this organization
Yeah.
who's giving to these people, and here's how you can be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's manufactured outrage.
How long do you think till we think the internet was a mistake? Giving people
Yesterday?
It is
Oh, yeah.
wild that we've given
It's-
everybody
yeah.
a voice, like in a way.
It's
So-
super fucking wild, and it's terrible because not everyone deserves a voice.
I agree. I hate to say, it sounds bad saying that, but I'm like, not everybody should have a say.
Well, it's well, no, but
You
it's
should, have, you should pass the test. You should have passed the
It's the-
test.
No,
Well,
you know
sure.
what? You know what? There's a lot of people who agreed with censorship.
Oh,
Hitler.
Fuck. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what it
Splice it.
is. Do we both support Hitler?
I didn't
Is that
support
what's
it.
happening?
Just fucking
I'm
cut
just
that-
saying,
just
I
fucking
think he
cut
was
that
alive.
moment
That's
right
all I'm
there.
saying.
That's our
Stefan,
clip.
where's your countdown to Switzerland?
God,
Like,
we have been looking. We have been looking for a viral clip for a long time, and I think we fucking found it.
I
What
think
was that?
I think that you guys could take this whole podcast and make us look like total insane people.
we just
You can
piece
do that
together
for any
conversation.
podcast
Yeah.
that we do.
But you know what? I give you our permission to do that.
Honestly, we've been looking for a way out of this whole podcast world.
Here it
This
is.
may be
Here
it.
it is.
This
This
is up
may
to
be
you.
it.
I can say some worse stuff.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, things that we thankfully didn't say in our last video.
Yeah.
How much time do we have? Are we still going to just hang out and shoot the shit?
I mean, we have a little bit of time
Okay.
left on the cards. So I mean, we could
Good.
talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you guys want to say?
I'm into this this
how close to the line can
yeah,
you get?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's where this has brought me. That's where this has brought me.
Yeah, 17%.
Yeah, I think that there should be laws that keep people from.
we kind of talked about
we talk about this last
before.
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have too many cars,
there should be
you
laws
shouldn't be
about.
allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Man,
Too
full
many
circle.
what? Wait, so hold on.
I think there should be laws about like what you're
too much
allowed
excessive.
to have in your on your property. I think that you should.
Oh,
it should
yeah,
be.
yeah,
It
we
should
remember
be
talking
beautiful.
about
He's
that.
the
Yeah,
Because he's
HOA
off left.
president.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because like
I don't
there-
see that bullshit.
I mean, no, yeah. There's like a neighborhood near mine, and we go on walks, and we're walking down this beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you come across a neighbor that has a nice house,
sure.
but also 15 cars across the parking lot that have
None
not.
of them work.
No, they have not moved. They
Right.
got snow still piled on them.
Yeah.
But then also cars in the driveway, cars in the yard.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys,
Yeah.
it just that's the price of homes in that area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
You're pro gentrification is what I'm hearing.
that's what I heard.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Let's get that soundbite.
Yeah.
And clip, cut,
Yeah.
Yeah.
send it to the internet.
All right, now what's
Put it on
your?
the TikTok.
we already did the porn thing, so you're already like a sexual deviant. So we already got one thing for Kyle.
First
got-
off,
I think
He
we got
just
something
keeps
for everyone.
watching
we
the
do.
same
Yeah.
clip over
I
and
keep
over again.
getting entrapped. It's
please.
entrapment.
Oh,
I know what this is.
Yeah, I did not look at the nipple.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I didn't get out
Bill
my
Clinton?
magnifying
Yeah,
glass.
Is that a Bill Clinton?
That was an
Yeah.
attempt.
Yeah,
At a,
yeah,
that was,
I
yeah.
felt it. I felt it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Depends on your definition of is.
That is my
is.
favorite. That is my favorite. It depends on what your definition of is. I talk about that in
that's
class
a
all the time. That's a
baller
baller move.
sentence right
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's the most semantic fucking thing
Oh, yeah.
of all time.
like I get the
Well,
it
what
depends on what your definition of sex, but when you start to break down what is,
Yeah.
man.
Do you think he was told that? I mean, I know
No.
for a fact that guy's a genius.
What?
Yeah.
Who is this? Jordan
Bill
Peterson?
Clinton.
This
Bill
is
Clinton.
There's the. I thought the porn thing was bad.
Yeah.
You think Bill Clinton's a genius?
I think he's literally has an IQ of a genius.
I mean, I think we could look that up also.
I think you could.
No way.
Yeah.
I will say
You gonna stand by that? Is that the 17%?
I would stand by that.
sentence is a genius sentence. I agree. I don't know if he is a genius.
I would think it's,
I mean,
well, is your definition of genius over 135 IQ?
Kyle's
IQ
tolerance
is such
has
a-
gone down.
I agree.
Terrible measurement of someone's
Did I say that I
intelligence.
love the guy or I think he's the best person? No.
He's gonna stand
No.
his ground. He does this. He's gonna stand
Well,
his
we
ground.
live in a stand your ground state. Jamie,
Jamie.
Come on, back me up here.
So Bill Clinton's IQ is estimated to be 159.
Woo!
Fuck off.
This is according to RD.com, Reader's Digest.
Oh, you know it's good.
Did he actually take a test, or they're estimating it based
No,
on?
I
Like,
mean,
his
one
life?
thing-
He told
pretty
them. He told
my
them.
IQ,
My
is
IQ is
159.
well, I can tell
Okay.
you my IQ is 140. I don't know if anyone will believe it, but
Yeah.
Fact check that shit.
Jesus Christ.
Everything. So when I worked in when I worked in Arkansas, everybody there said,
oh, here we go. Okay.
I'm just saying that
Arkansas.
worked in politics with him was
Uh-huh.
like, this guy does not sleep. He is constantly, I mean, graduated very well, knew everything. He was just one of these guys that was like incredibly smart.
Kyle, no matter what you say, I'm not going to buy this. I'm sorry.
Well, do you
This
think
is
he's
the
an
most
idiot?
I've talked about Bill Clinton, and I mean, since I was,
Ages.
I know that he's an incredible
I haven't even-
saxophone player.
and he was a funny president.
He can play,
didn't
he
like
played the
broccoli.
saxophone.
Yeah, and he had a cat.
You know, I will say this with this episode, we probably just got a new demographic of people.
He can play the sax, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He was
he's-
famous for playing.
yeah, he can play the
was
sax.
Yeah. He was a cool president.
Yeah.
He's in the top 13 presidents with the highest IQ.
Who's number one?
Joe
my
Biden.
God.
Oh, we're not going to go down there. So it's, Bill Clinton's IQ was estimated 159, born in Arkansas. He later attended school at Georgetown, Oxford, and Yale, where he met Hillary.
Why did you say
Why did you say it like
What?
where he met Hillary?
Wow. I just met her in college. Jimmy Carter's on there. Woodrow Wilson,
I mean, I'm a
IQ
huge
of
Jimmy
one-
Carter fan.
155. I
mean,
know
Jimmy
IQ
Carter
is very
was
like
building houses up until like the day he died.
He's still alive.
He's
Did
still
he
alive.
die? I thought he was still alive.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter is still alive.
He
Brother.
is still
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
he's still
He is-
alive.
He is actively building
there-
houses.
there was like a-
as
there
we
was
Well,
like
speak.
a-
not right now. He's at home because he's not
Maybe that's what
well.
No. He's
Maybe-
at home
maybe I-
building
He's at home building tiny houses.
Lincoln log houses
He
for
was-
ants
But
and
no,
mice.
he was like Habitat for Humanity. Like
Yeah.
they were
Oh, yeah.
building houses.
Oh,
the
I-
guy, he suffered a fall.
Yeah.
And like his face and
And
like
he was out there hammering
and
shit, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
And I was like,
that's that old school grit.
He's also a really good PR company. But like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He's
old
just out
school
there.
grit.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
he
that.
sold a goddamn peanut. I mean, go ahead, Kyle.
I was just looking at Wikipedia.
He's still on Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He had the fourth highest, supposedly, of any president.
Listen, guys.
What's number one? I asked you what number
John
one is.
Quincy Adams, I believe is what it
They
said.
didn't even have the IQ test.
No,
back then.
That
knows.
didn't exist.
Nobody. There's no
Okay,
fact
it's
checking.
There's
that.
no way to
Okay,
know.
I can't
There's no way to know. There's no way to know.
I'm just saying the guy's not an idiot.
Well, I don't believe he's an idiot either, but I don't think he's a genius.
It just depends
I
what
don't
your
think he's a
definition of
genius.
is.
Guys,
That's all I'm saying.
communicate.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
That
that-
sentence.
I think
brilliant.
I'm
Also-
the smartest
also that
brewery owner.
17% is hitting hard.
Yeah, well, you know,
You know?
it
I
might,
think-
and it might also be the Rice Krispies. It's that brown
We're gonna
butter.
find
It's
out.
that brown
Million
butter.
degrees in here.
Well, guys, I
yeah.
think our time is
I think that's a
coming to
great
close.
idea.
I think that's
I
a
don't think we're
perfect place to end it.
Is
is
how
talking
great
about
Bill
Bill Clinton's IQ.
Well, you know, I would have loved to have stopped it earlier.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go anywhere better than this.
I
So-
stand by it. He's
Yeah.
probably pretty smart.
Okay.
I can't wait to get the DMs and the comments on this one.
Especially
This is
with
gonna be great.
all the Hitler talk that gets spliced
Yeah.
out.
Oh, God.
it's-
It's
That's gonna
fun.
be all your TikTok reels. It's just us being like, "I love Hitler."
Dang,
We're gonna splice it
in
in.
that voice
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure how TikTok works.
Yeah.
If
You
I
just
can
gave us
share it,
another
but
one.
I
There
will.
you go.
I will.
You know what, guys?
Yeah.
Hitler's the best.
And I am driving home by myself.
It's gonna be about 9/11. It's gonna be
Yeah.
everything.
9/11's an inside job. Hitler's my best friend.
I never said that.
It's gonna be a Stefan highlight reel.
Yeah, it's
As,
gonna be
as a Mexican, no, I never said that.
I already can't run for president.
Let's
so
go around the
Same.
table and give one adjective of how we thought this podcast went. Mine, wild.
wild.
Oh, that was mine.
I was gonna say.
Also,
I'll say
wild.
interesting. Very
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm not
also
gonna say
was
sexy.
fucking hot. No, God, don't put words in my mouth, Cornfield.
Is
Is not an adjective.
I know.
Do you?
Bill told me
What's
that,
your IQ?
actually.
What's your IQ? I'm gonna
15.
go. I'm gonna go with Slicky.
Oh, good callback. Good
Old
callback.
cocktail.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, finish this out, baby.
finished.
Is
Are we gonna?
And
is that?
cut.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I got
great.
nothing. You were gonna say. I was gonna say wild, but then you said that.
We were all gonna say
Hot
wild
and- yeah.
because
Yeah.
we didn't expect half the things that came out of your guys' mouth. No.
You never do.
All right.
We love you. Love you.
Yeah, thanks
Love
for
you.
having us, guys.
Oh.
Seriously, thank you.
Drive
All right,
As
here we
always,
go.
yeah, appreciate
That's
it.
No,
Yep.
seriously, we do love you guys.
No, love you too.
Thank
Thank
you
Okay,
you.
so
coming
let's start
on.
planning. You know,
Episode
number 3.
three.
We'll do a live podcast.
I really
soon.
want to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would
We're
be
gonna do
fun
the live.
to have an audience. I would imagine Jeremiah will get in on this, and he'll be like,
Dave will get in on
Dave
some questions.
and Jason.
Jason.
Jason might
Alex
actually have a
B.
question.
Alex
that
B.
pervert.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it would be
Yeah,
great.
kissing
But
one.
also,
Kisser.
we think your beer is great. We think you guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing all the beer tonight.
Of course.
And the glassware,
Yeah.
which you can get at bleedingheartbrewery.com.
Do you guys want to keep those glasses?
I'd love
Yeah,
to.
bleedingheartbrewery.com.
Amanda, thank you.
Also, thanks, Amanda. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those rice
for
Brown
our
butter.
Rice Krispies,
Yeah.
our brown butter Rice Krispies
Yeah.
treats.
Anyway, well, we love you guys.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Kyle and Steven will be back with a new episode next week. In the meantime, check out GoFixYourselfPodcast.com. And remember to always go fix yourself.